Warning, if you're thinking about surgery to fix your chronic joint pain, stop, because surgery can be risky, painful, and come with a lengthy recovery time. But there is an alternative, a groundbreaking therapy that revitalizes damaged tissue with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics has successfully treated tens of thousands of patients, freeing them from pain in their knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints. Before you resort to invasive surgery, find out if you're a candidate for this advanced regenerative therapy by calling 970-684-4256. Don't let chronic pain dictate your life any longer, and don't risk surgery. Learn more about the joint pain therapy endorsed by professional athletes and available now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. To find out if you're eligible, request a free consultation from QC Kinetics. You owe it to yourself to learn more about this surgery-free alternative with no drugs and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today, 970-684-4256, 970-684-4256.
This report is sponsored by Redpilled America.
Partly cloudy skies for us today with high temperatures in the middle to upper 50s, and then rain likely with breezy conditions. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
Once upon a time, I was in an exclusive cult run by powerful elites. That cult was Hollywood. I escaped and created Redpilled America, a storytelling show that tells the stories Tinseltown ignores. Listen to Redpilled America on the iHeartRadio app.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed prosecutors to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione, if prosecuted, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Bondi calls Thompson's killing a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. 10,000 workers at the Department of Health and Human Services are being laid off today.
This follows about 10,000 people recently taking early retirements or buyouts. So when you add all of that up, about 20,000 people now at the Department of Health and Human Services in a significant cut there. But the agency says by losing about 25% of their workforce, they still will maintain critical services. HHS also says that this is going to save taxpayers about $1.8 billion a year.
ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers. The Trump administration admits it did make a mistake in sending a man who had been protected from deportation to a prison in El Salvador, but there's nothing the courts can do about it now. This is ABC News. Polls are open in Wisconsin in the most expensive judicial election ever, the race for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. In Milwaukee, here's ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott.
Voters are heading to the polls here in Wisconsin for the battle over a single seat on the state Supreme Court. This could have big implications. Democrats see this as the first real test of how voters are feeling about President Trump's agenda, but it could shift the balance of power on the state court with big implications for the future rulings on abortion rights, voting laws, election laws, and potentially how congressional maps are redrawn in this state.
Employers posted 7.6 million job openings in February. The Labor Department says at the same time last year, there were 8.4 million vacant jobs. And it appears the NFL defenses will have to try to figure out how to stop the tush push for at least another season. ESPN reporting the push to ban the controversial play has been tabled at the league meeting so it can stay in the playbooks. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The first case of measles this year has been confirmed in Colorado. Health officials say the adult from Pueblo was unvaccinated and recently traveled to an area in Mexico experiencing an outbreak. Those who have visited the Southwest Deli and Cafe from March 17th through the 21st or the Southern Colorado Clinic in Pueblo on March 22nd may have been exposed and should monitor for symptoms. Measles is one of the most highly contagious and preventable viruses. Some of those April showers are in the forecast for today.
Partly cloudy skies for us today with high temperatures in the middle to upper 50s. Rain likely and breezy by this afternoon, and we are expecting winds to gust as high as 30 miles per hour. Tonight brings a chance of rain and snow before 10 p.m., and then a slight chance of snow between 10 and 1 a.m.
Fox 31 meteorologist Greg Perez says that Wednesday's high will be in the lower 50s. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, we do have a little slowing I-25 coming into downtown due to a crash at Alameda. It was cleared fairly quickly. It was blocking the left lane, but some backups there. Hopefully that'll improve rather quickly also. I-25 south coming in from the Turnpike to downtown. It's improving. We had some police activity in the HOV lane, but it looks like they've cleared out. 270 is just a little on the heavy side. Winter driving in the high country. In fact, I-70 westbound at the tunnels is closed right now. It looks like a safety closure. Traffic is backing up very rough all the way to Vail. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Electric rates are going up, up, up. You need Red Rock's Roof and Solar. They do it all, sales, installation, and service. And because they do roofs too, they got you covered. Locally owned, veteran-owned. More than 35 years combined experience. The only company to guarantee an activation date or they pay you for lost energy. Battery backups, auxiliary generators. 303-704-2449. 704-2449. RedRocksRS.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
Oh, to spread good news. The Capital One help people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
You're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
We've become so much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower.
Take your radio with you.
630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
A stream online
at KHOW.com. When joining the conversation becomes difficult, use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just tap, record, and send, all within the app.
Get out there and be heard.
To Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, hi. How are you doing? I'm here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier, as I've been doing for 45 years on this particular show, uninterrupted. So that's the longest running show with the same host still on the air. Welcome. We recover millions of dollars for people in any given year, millions, in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We also talk about consumer stuff near and dear to your heart and pocketbook to keep you, let's say, to keep you wise. And, as you know, and I'll take your phone calls whenever you have a problem, question, or complaint at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. As you know, I'm involved in a few things. One of them is a wealth management company. And I looked at some portfolios, not mine, not ours, but in general, some anonymous portfolios. And financial advisors get to do that to see trends. You don't get to look at who's got what and who they are, but there are statistics kept on investments and what they do and what they don't do. And I found something absolutely shocking I want to share with you. And I don't know why it's happening. Right now, though, Amy wants to talk about her Beamer. She bought a 2011. Oh, we were trying to help you, Amy. And I don't know what happened to the call. But anyway, you paid $5,450 for a used 2011 BMW 335i at Car Pros in Golden. You took a road trip.
Yes.
To North Carolina. North Dakota. In less than 30 days, you experienced a complete breakdown. And what we wanted to do is try to get your car into one of our people to get it analyzed. How did we leave it with you yesterday? That's what I thought we were going to say, right?
Right. Well, I didn't have a full charge because I didn't realize, and I wasn't at home. I was downtown.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to get a charge on my phone.
Okay. So I want to get your car into a place. What were your symptoms? Let's get Kevin Kalkin on if we can, Suze. What were the symptoms?
Okay, well, it just had I just started making this noise under the hood, and my engine light came on, and then it started flashing the engine. So I pulled over, I turned the car off, and I go to look under the hood, and everything looks normal. So I start the car back up, and then it's driving normal, but I still hear this continuous knock kind of under the hood, and so I get back into town. I don't drive anywhere, and then I decide I got to go somewhere, so I start my car, and I could go a block away, and then when I turn my car off, it won't start. And it doesn't run completely at all right now. I don't know.
Where is your car right now?
I did have a diagnosis. On it through O'Reilly's. They hooked the OBDI sensor up to it. And it came back with a P300 code, which is a general engine code, and then multiple cylinder misfires. Cylinder 2, P302, and P305.
Okay. And did they say what they thought it was caused by?
It could be It could be the ignition coils. It could be spark plugs. It could be something more serious. It could be the combustion in the cylinders. I mean, it's...
All right. Where are you located? What part of town are you in?
I'm located in North Glen.
In North Glen. All right. Hold on for a second. I want to try to get Kevin on to talk about this. 303-713-8255. Steve, welcome to the show. What's going on, Steve?
I was calling about wrongful termination. I was working for a company that was a union.
Yeah.
I was making deliveries. I made a delivery to a place where a gentleman asked me for my phone number, and then I denied him. He fabricated a story and said that I was basically trying to fight him because I think he was trying to save face for being refused.
Steve, let me ask you something. What kind of job, Steve, what kind of a union job? Is it a delivery job?
Yes, a liquor delivery.
Liquor? And you say it's union controlled?
Yes.
Okay. And so why did the guy...
Now,
here's what I want to know. Why did the guy want your phone number?
I guess he thought I was attractive.
Okay. And so you were working as a union liquor delivery guy, and then... okay. And then what happened was this guy got in a fight with you. What story did he make up?
He said that I was being rude, and then I tried to basically fight him.
Okay.
Which was totally false.
And they fired you because of this?
Yes, because they said that they took his word and said that I was being rude. At the time, working there, I was a union steward, so they were trying to clean house and get rid of union stewards.
Are you sure?
Because I was filing grievances and holding them accountable.
So they were looking to get rid of you. Now, that could be retaliatory. There's very few unjust terminations, very few of them. There are some, however. And if they were trying to get rid of a union, I mean, that's pretty serious. Are you sure that's why they fired you?
That's what they told me specifically when I was being terminated, that I was getting let go for threatening language.
Threatening language to who?
To this gentleman that asked me for my number.
Now, unfortunately, if they wanted to get rid of you for another reason, and you gave them a real reason, or they have a real reason, they can use the real reason, and it doesn't matter what their other reasons are. Did you ever have complaints like this before from people?
In this industry, everybody's got complaints like this.
Why? Why are these people sitting? Are these people sitting at home, alcoholics looking for trouble?
It's just different owners of liquor stores expect you to do certain things that
wait a minute.
Like
so you don't deliver. Wait a minute. You deliver to stores.
Correct.
Okay, I for some reason I'm thinking like an Uber for liquor for homes, or a DoorDash. Okay, now I understand. So this was a liquor store owner that reported you.
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay. Was it the store manager?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he has credibility. I listen. Why would they fire you though for one complaint?
I feel because I was a union steward and I had filed several grievances holding them accountable for their actions, such as safety.
All right. I don't know how we're going to prove this. See, you probably can't get an attorney on this. Will your union help you? They should represent you on this.
So currently we are about to go to an arbitration, but the company wants to basically give me money and send me on my way and just forget about it.
Well, hold on. What does your union say about it?
The person that I'm dealing with says that he feels we have a strong case. The union lawyer basically is saying, I've gone into these thinking that we'll win and we lose and vice versa.
So they're not going to fight?
We currently have an arbitration date set.
Okay.
I just don't know if I take the money that they're offering me if I'd be
I don't think, listen,
short.
That's up to your attorney, but I don't think you have a choice. Hey, John Fuller, are you on right now? Is John on?
He's going to be on in just a bit, Tom.
Okay. Here's what I think. He's our attorney, one of our attorneys. Steve, you don't really have much of a choice. They must have gone to arbitration because there was mandatory arbitration with the union agreement, meaning that the union members don't sue. And that's why you're going to arbitration. Most union shops have an arbitration clause with the employer. So you're going to go to arbitration. And if they offer you a cash settlement, I don't see you don't have any upside turning it down. You can't take them to court. I mean, if your union doesn't fight them, you got to go to arbitration first. Then you usually can go to court. But what I'm saying is I don't think your union attorneys will represent you. He was already saying, look, I've seen some of these and we can win or lose, and they probably don't want to take on the fight. Steve, I really think arbitration is your best bet, and I don't think it would behoove you to fight after that. Not really. Unless the union says, hey, bro, this was really, really unsavory. Let's go to court. I mean, that's different. But really, Steve, you got to go with your counsel. 303-713-8255, waterpros.net, the best water systems. You know how I feel. You just don't get better for a lower price anywhere. Quality, service, dependability. It's got the whole house conditioning, the whole house. And you also will have drinking water at the kitchen sink. You'll get rid of forever chemicals, chlorine, plastics. Waterpros.net, just $39.95 for the whole house. Plumbers can't touch it. Waterpros.net.
Was that it?
Of course. Well, what do you think? You don't know me? I do a commercial and then go back to a
check
call?
is good. The experience is smooth.
No. I didn't hear any sniffling for a second, so I didn't know if you were still there.
Best car buyer.
You know what?
Sell us your
You're a
car.
fucking asshole.
What? Compared to what?
I don't know.
Oh, hey, you now.
Okay.
Lazara and CMG.
If you are in trouble, Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. I'm just going to put it like that. Many people get in trouble. DUIs, arguments at work, at a bar. I mean, there's all kinds of stupid things that go on. Sometimes it's neighbor versus neighbor. If ever you're in trouble, here's my message. Everyone deserves a defense. Maybe you did something stupid. Maybe you just were falsely accused. Who knows? Joe Lazara will represent you. That's the message. And here's the deal. You just call him for free consultations and then flat rate pricing, whether it's traffic, DUI, assault, whatever. 303-429-6200, 429-6200, Lazzara, Joe Lazara, LazaraLegal.com. Hey, you know what? You want a reverse loan? You can get one, CMG Financial. They're still doing reverse loans. And they say, they're not that bad right now because the prime has come down. And a reverse loan helps you stay in your home and enjoy the equity and never have to repay during your lifetime unless you choose to. Partnerinlending.com. You can also get conventional loans. CMG Financial, 303-882-6679.
Right, if you
That was awesome. Thank you very much.
One off Santa Fe and Bellevue or something. We passed that the other day. I said, hey, I think that's Shannon's Golden Corral.
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you spend all your money.
I moved the mouse and it came back on.
Unfortunately, whatever we're hearing from John Fuller, we're getting us back, Tom.
I moved the mouse and went off.
Oh. What's that, Shannon? Sorry.
Sorry. No, don't be. John, are you there? Because he's connected, but we're hearing us back. John?
Sure, I'll call John.
Yeah.
He was having problems with his
I'll pot him down
access.
for now. John, are you there? Oh, he's getting better. Something's getting better. Johnny!
It's the camera microphone, Shannon.
I think I'm really close to having it done. I
Okay.
logged off. I'll log right back on, and then I'll mute everything and see if I can talk to him.
Okay, because okay. And it's Shannon.
Sorry. Okay, Shannon. All right. I'll be online in just a second.
Awesome sauce.
John's still trying to connect.
Where's the echo coming from?
It was him connected.
Okay.
And something in his settings.
Testing.
Oh, there
he is.
Oh, Johnny.
Shoot.
You
this
okay?
is crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I had to totally buy a new license for Lucy Light.
I know. They suck that way.
They do.
They're
and as soon as I
European.
paid them again, all of the IP addresses and everything came back up again. So it's just crazy.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We can stay at home and connect.
So do you guys have me at all here? Or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, this is jacked up.
Sorry, dude.
Some program that they use.
Hey, Tom wanted you for a call. You might have been on yesterday,
No.
but they lost the caller. I don't know if that was you or Jeff Vick.
It was Jeff.
Oh, what?
I did see your text from a few minutes ago,
2011 BMW 335i.
From Tom or from-
She bought in Golden, took a road trip to North Dakota. Last 30 days, she experienced.
Text from Tom or Suze?
I think it was Suzanne. Hang on.
Yeah, Tom
about
doesn't text unless he can't see your camera.
I know.
Okay, I'm here. Okay,
What do you
sorry,
want,
guys.
John? I
Sorry.
can hear you.
Woo.
No,
We know.
Suzanne texted me something about somebody in a car accident yesterday that called my office, and we told them that they were at fault and there was nothing that we could do, and I wondered if I wanted to discuss it on the radio or something.
No, I just wondered how you wanted me to respond to it because they're looking
Oh.
for an attorney.
Well, they need to call their insurance company, and they'll get one for free.
Maybe I will get him on the show. This is a good show call. Hang on. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Thanks, John. Wow, you're putting ideas in my head today.
That's what I'm here for.
Saddle him with Brian Moore.
Okay, what's this guy's name? I have no idea. All right. Howdy. Would love.
It's probably been the decades with Mark that have taught you to have your own conversations with yourself. That's probably where this started.
I can't wait until I'm on the phones and John's hosting because the guys are out, and I'm going to sing while I talk.
She got up and did her double yoga class this morning,
Yes,
and the
I
whole
did.
day has been wrecked ever since.
Would love
That's right,
to
John.
get you some advice on...
Hey, Dee, how's it going?
No, it's $1. Scotch.
Oh, $1, cool. How are you?
Oh, dollars in.
All right. Yep.
This is Chopper.
All right, enough pleasantries. Here we come.
Ignores. Listen to Redpilled America on the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I got Kevin Calkin with me, Sheridan Auto Tech. Uncle Kevin is our expert on automobiles. Kevin, Amy yesterday called in with her 2011 Beamer. How many miles on it, Amy?
There's about 141,000 miles on it.
And it's a 335i, and that just reeks all problems. But here's what happened. She took a road trip to North Carolina. During that road trip, she was experiencing some problems. Now, Amy, explain the best you can to Kevin when it first started. You were driving down the highway?
Yes.
And what happened?
And you would hear like this, something from under the hood, maybe something flapping or like a knock type sound.
Now, let me ask
And
you
then
this, Amy.
all of a sudden,
Let me ask you this. When you were driving, hearing this knock, was it a steady knock or every now and then? Was it knock, 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 knock? Or was it knock, 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 knock? Like, was it regular or irregular?
it was regular, maybe like maybe not like a knock like you would think knock, but like more like a ping or something.
Okay.
But it intensified.
Would that sound
Yeah, it
change? Would that
intensified.
sound change with the speed of your car?
Yes.
Okay. What does that sound like to you? Lifters?
Yeah, it could be almost anything. Did you stop and
Yeah,
check
she
fluids,
said.
or
Wait, she was
disinfect
about to tell us.
anything, or-
Amy, when I interrupted you, you said, and then what happened? Go ahead.
My check engine light came on, and it started actually flashing my engine. And so I pulled over and I popped the hood, and it wasn't hot or overheating. I wasn't low on oil, none of that. So then I turned my car back on, and it was normal. And I still heard the sound from under the hood. And then it happened again later that evening. And when I had stopped later that evening, I was a quart low. So I'm not sure if I'm leaking oil. I think I'm burning oil because I don't see any oil leaks or anything. But, yeah. And then I had to let it sit.
Okay.
Crazy because
When you let it sit, can you start it up again?
today, no. At that time, I was able to restart it after about an hour, hour and a half.
Now, one other thing, Kevin. She went to an auto parts store and they pulled some codes. P300,
Good, yeah.
P300, P302, P305.
Yep. Random and then multiple misfires. Yeah.
Okay, you know that by heart, huh?
That's why the light was flashing.
So
yeah,
tell
those
me,
are common codes on
what
cars.
does that sound like to you, if you had to guess?
Oof. It could be a number of things. It could be a compression issue. It could be spark, fuel injectors, almost anything.
Could it be the
But that's why
entire
the light's
engine?
flashing is to get your attention. It absolutely could. Sure.
Okay.
Especially with noises and everything else going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Amy, you're in North Glen, right?
Yes.
How far are you from Colfax and Wadsworth, just in general?
I'm not too far from there. Probably like a 20 minute drive, probably.
Well, Kevin.
Is the light still flashing though?
Yeah, what happens now when you try to start it?
Well, it doesn't start. I guess the battery is dead. But I can drive, but the last time I drove the vehicle, it actually stalled on me 2 blocks after I started driving. So I probably would have to have the vehicle towed, there. But I can do that. I'm willing to do it. I mean,
Well, yeah, we got to make sure Kevin can get it in. Now, do you have, in case, obviously we can't do a bunch of free repairs. He can do a free diagnostic for you. But
Right.
Amy, do you have money to get it fixed?
well, I don't have a stockpile of cash, but I do work and I live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, here's the deal. Let's just get it there and get it checked. I mean, but I don't think you're going to have a recourse against the seller. I don't think so.
No.
Unless they...
I didn't have the money to do a VIN check at the time, and I had already ran through my VIN checks with Carfax because I had been looking for a vehicle. And I found out that my title is branded twice, and it's branded as junk salvage. And I'm just like, how did that get back on the market in the first place?
They sold you a car that was salvaged and they washed the title?
2 times. Twice they did it. Yes, it was 2 comes back with 2 branded titles as junk / salvage.
Hey, wait a minute. And when you bought it, did they advise you of this?
No.
Okay, now we got a problem.
Absolutely not.
Kevin, I think they have to disclose if it's salvage.
Absolutely. Well, especially if it's on the title. But if they wash the title, they may not be responsible. They may not have known either.
Oh, I bet you they knew.
So that's a tough one.
Deputy Dollars, a dollar. Are you in today?
Yeah, I'm here, Tom.
Why don't we call this dealer? I mean, let's find out. I don't know how she got a clean title if it was previously washed. I mean, previously salvaged. Amy.
Well, my title, the way the way I signed the title it was from a State Farm.
So you knew.
It was
probably. We need to see the paperwork. I think they probably told you it was salvaged, and you just didn't know it.
Yep.
I might be in the paperwork, it might be. I just didn't tell you.
The only thing that I said that was the mileage was not the actual mileage.
Yeah,
That's
listen, I think, Amy, I think you bought a hunk of junk. I hope to God it works. I mean, I hope that Kevin can find something that can be repaired. Let's just leave it there. Okay, that's our next step. Bob has a question for Kevin while he's on the air, on the line here. Bob, what is your question for Kevin at SheridanAutotech.com?
Well, we've got the import tariffs coming in. I got a friend who just bought a new car. I'm just like, I really like the car I've got, and I'm just wondering how long do you really last if you take really good care of them?
Well, what car do you have?
Yeah, what kind of car?
I've got a 2017 Infiniti QX50. It's got the 3.7-liter 6 in it.
Yeah. No, they're great cars. Yeah, most cars can go to 150 to 200 with proper regular maintenance. It's not complicated. Yeah, just don't skip out on it. Because
I've just got 100,000, so I've probably got 3 years left.
Well, sure you do.
I would say so, and it takes a little luck.
Those are really good cars, Bob. Why, were you wondering about the tariffs?
Well, no, I've got a buddy who just ran out and bought a new car because the tariffs are coming in, all this and that. And I just really like this car, and I take good care of it. And I normally trade them in about 100,000 miles, but I think I'm just going to keep this one.
Well, and I don't
think
think
more and more people are doing that.
More and more people are, and with especially Japanese cars, you can get a lot of life out of them. I'm telling you, when it comes to auto builders, the Japanese stand out. And that's just the way it is. Above German cars, above American cars. In fact, German cars have come down in the world, in my opinion. Kevin, would you say quality over the years?
absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, you got to own them new and bail at 3 years, or you're gonna have problems like the last caller.
Very expensive problems.
Can't run them like you used to.
Right.
Yep.
303-713-8255. Frank Duran, the real estate man, can give you a market valuation of your home. What is that? Well, let's say you're not sure you want to sell. He can do an analysis free of charge, complimentary, and let you know what it will sell for and what you will net based on his vast 30-year experience. Get that free analysis. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Knock, 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 knock. Hey, stop.
That was awesome.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan
That's my new ringtone for you.
KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by YRefi.com.
All right, we're doing very well here in town. No problem spots. Volume very light. The only actual problem is going to be for light rail. There's a power outage. It's affecting the D, E, and H line. They're experiencing, in fact, up to 30-minute delays, something to keep in mind if you use light rail. Foothills Drive looks good so far. Down the bottom of Floyd Hill still remains open. But, boy, winter driving in the high country. I-70's been closed for about an hour at the tunnels. They just reopened a short time ago. It's still tied up, but it's winter driving all the way to Vail. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. YRefi refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Okay, it's my turn. Discountbath.com. I love talking about them because of the word discount before bath. Usually bath means breaking the bank. But truly, Chris and his team assembled with one thing in mind. Let's do a lot of bathrooms, and let's do less profit, and let's make lots of money and save for the consumers at the same time. It's really that simple. The truth is they have the greatest bathrooms, or the same as the greatest, but at less profit. And you can get one for your rental, your fix and flip, or your dream home. All you have to do is go to discountbath.com. You can call them if you want, but if you upload video, they'll give you a price without coming to your home. Start at discountbath.com, then upload a video from the basement maybe where it's roughed in, or from a hallway bath or a master bath, wherever you want one, Jack and Jill bath, and then they will give you the price. Discountbath.com, 720-979-2322. Hey, you've heard of hair transplants. Listen, radio celebrities talk about their hair transplants. Everyone does. You want the same quality hair transplant, but you want to save a ton of money? Then check this out. RecoverYourHair.com. What is Recover Your Hair? Well, it's a program put together by local resident Nick Turner. He went over to Istanbul, Turkey to have his hair transplant. It was the same quality you get in the U.S., but a fraction of the cost. So he put together some trips where men can go to get their hair restored. The hair starts growing the next day. You get a couple follow-up appointments, and then you come home. Including airfare and everything, it's still way cheaper to have it done in Turkey than it is in the United States. If you're interested in a fun medical tourism trip, RecoverYourHair.com, 970-534-0676, 970-534-0676.
Thank you.
Tommy?
Yes.
Yes. Did you see that text I sent you on the call I have coming up in a little bit?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Good.
I just wanted to be sure you knew.
Good. Thank you.
Oh.
Tom, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What else was I going to say? Oh, I should give this to the deputy.
I'm in the studio. If it's anything that ain't financial, go ahead and give it to me.
All right, Shop.
Dollar's kind of swamped.
Gotcha.
Okay. I have an STD list. You know what an STD list is?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
we do.
yeah.
Shit to do.
Oh,
You have an
okay.
STD?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
my STD list.
Okay.
And you're on it.
Oh.
To get you
okay.
paid.
Thank you.
Okay.
I saw some big bodybuilder guy wearing a shirt that said to-do list, And the first thing checked off on it was your mom. Love that.
Shannon, I'm offended.
Yeah?
I'm offended.
He's a sticker.
As you should be.
Wouldn't be a day at work without offending you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
Pre-moistened wet nap.
Yes, I am. And I'm proud to be
Didn't I
pre-moistened.
write you a check last week?
I need to order food. What should I
checkbook
buy?
should just be right in here.
I feel like Noodles and Company.
Hell.
I don't know either, but it's amazing.
Are you?
I think I'm going to get Noodles and Company.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you felt noodly.
Sure, rub it in,
I'm
Tom.
gonna get mac and cheese.
There you go.
I need to keep up
Sounds
my
like
strength. Ha ha. That's
like
my
a-
excuse. I never thought there'd be a time in my life where doctors say, eat anything. You need to gain weight. That's crazy. Hey, Shannon.
Well, I'm going to Golden Corral today. You want to go with me? What?
When you move into a neighborhood and you have to register, where do you go to? A website or is it a phone app?
No, I just lay on the horn till the neighbors come out.
Oh my God.
Why? What do you?
Shannon, I do not have my checkbook.
Don't you worry about a
sorry.
thing.
I feel terrible, but I'll get that handled. My life is a mess now, living out of the bus like this. Half my life's
Welcome
in the
to
house.
my world.
Half my life's out of the house. It's just exhausting.
The only upside for me is the world's my bathroom.
Okay, Tom, what are we doing with this Amy gal? I missed it.
Gonna hook her up with Kev.
Oh. Oh, hey, Amy, do I need to give you Kevin Culkin's phone number? Or
Yeah, we're going to try to get her over there.
Here we go. Coming back.
Okay, it is.
Accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
Hey, Tom Martino here, and speaking of Fuller, John is with us.
Hello.
Hello, John. Hey, do you know I started the show saying that since I got into financial advisement industry, the business, I found something pretty shocking. And I mean this. Now, this is compiled from this is not, what do you call research when you go out to find just what you want, right? I wasn't even looking for this. I wasn't even looking for it, but I noticed a trend. We have, of course, at Wave 8 Wealth Management, both male and female clientele, and then we have couples. Now, here's something, John, I found shocking. In an examination of portfolios, men, unmarried men, had really good portfolio returns. Now, I'm saying good so I can put it all in perspective. They weren't outstanding, but they were good. Married men had a bit better. And single females had the worst returns. Now, these people were not investing their own money. They had financial advisors.
Right.
Now, John, I don't know how, and an audience, I don't know how you go to a financial advisor as a woman and you go as a man and you go as a married couple. I can see where a married couple would have different risk tolerances and financial goals, like with kids and stuff, where that might be a more babysat portfolio, although you know what I say in the financial advisement, they don't babysit crap. But a single woman, why is it that a single woman versus a single man have vastly different returns on investments? If you look at male portfolios, go ahead, John.
With completely passive investments, I mean,
this is managed
money.
money.
Kind of hard to figure out.
This is managed money.
Right.
These are not day traders.
Well, see, that whole thing is, I mean, in theory, you should take the same risk tolerance profile of, say, investor A and investor B, and if they came out with the same score on the risk tolerance, it should have almost identical portfolios.
Well,
wouldn't you
yeah,
think?
that's the, and John is touching on on the financial advisement industry. Now, we don't do it that way, but that's what most do. Most financial advisors shake hands and get to know people, go to their kitchen table, or they meet at a restaurant, and then they talk about investments. They say, well, what are your goals? And that's an appropriate question. And what are you comfortable with as far as risk? And what if this happened or that happened? Okay, then you're right, John. Then they send that up the line to a giant investor who then invests their funds. That's how the industry works. They don't know you. They just put you in a group. Now, sometimes that works very well, by the way. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, though, they push funds that they work for. So, you know, that's one thing. Then you have number two. You have investment advisors who actually invest your money. They actually listen to you and they tailor it to you. That's what we do. We are one of the probably 2% of all planners and all advisors, because every single client is different. Every single one has a portfolio chosen for them. Now, no matter how you look at it, what John said is true. If you go to a financial advisor, how is it that if they use the same questionnaires and the same procedure, how is it that I'm looking at stats that absolutely positively show that female investment portfolios are routinely less than males? I don't understand it. And I brought this up not because I have any great answers. It's absolutely a fact. And then I went and further researched, and because we were finding this, and Yahoo Finance actually went to the Census Bureau and published actual returns. The gap is astounding. It is absolutely astounding. If you look at this chart, you will see that male counterparts, just single males investing in the stock market, and single females with advisors, men are almost double of what women get in returns. Now, why is that? I doubt, and I'm not trying to, I'm not saying that, the financial advisor is going to, because many of them are female too, they're going to look at a woman and say, we don't care that much about you. We're not going to babysit your portfolio that much. But but as John alluded to, they put you with a big broker somewhere, a big advisor, and that advisor doesn't know that account number is a male or female. I mean, how the hell does it turn out that women are getting the short end of the stick through investing? I wish I knew. I have no idea. Could it be that single women fill out those questionnaires and really maybe take a big risk? Maybe they're more risk adverse, than the male counterparts. Because remember, most financial advisors do the questionnaires and all of that crap and then send it up the line and make a commission on you. So maybe the women answer, well, it has to be that. It can't be anything else, because account numbers have no gender. I don't know who I'm investing for when I have an account number, when I'm a giant firm. So they're not thinking, let's do less for women than men. I think it has to be in the questions. I think it has to be in the perception. When the females are asked questions about investing, they must come back maybe in a way that denotes they want less risk and maybe more principal protection than a male, and therefore the male over time has higher returns. Would you say that's it, John?
That kind of defeats the whole premise of the questions being answered identically. But here's my theory, if you will. Just in my own circumstance, my wife, I don't think, has ever once called our financial person to say, hey, what's going on with the account? What do you think about this? Never, ever, ever once. She would have to go look up the logins to actually go log in her account. And yet, historically, hers have done better than mine. And I talk to mine somewhat regularly. I try not to interfere or inject any of my wisdom, which is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe a completely passive investor that doesn't interfere and has the patience to just let the portfolios do what they're supposed to do, in the end, has a better outcome.
Could be. Now, John, what you said about answering questions identically, On these surveys from Yahoo Finance and the Census Bureau, the investors, these are raw returns, and we don't know what the investors answered on questions. We have no idea. They didn't go that far. All they did were raw returns per gender. Raw returns per gender.
Right.
So
so you can't really use my premise to analyze that. I mean, I think you're probably right. I think most, female investors, and particularly, single female investors, are probably going to trend more conservative and long-term capital growth, and not have as much of a risk tolerance as maybe the male counterpart would be. I think that's pretty safe to say.
Thank you, John. Well, we got to take a break. Coming back, Dimitri Christie's on the line for an update. And we'll talk about that coming up. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-8255.
Thank you.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by YRefi.com.
All right, we're doing very well here in town. No problem spots. Volume very light. The only actual problem is going to be for light rail. There's a power outage that's affecting the D, E, and H line. They're experiencing, in fact, up to 30-minute delays, something to keep in mind if you use light rail. Foothills Drive looks good so far. Down the bottom of Floyd Hill still remains open. But, boy, winter driving in the high country. I-70's been closed for about an hour at the tunnels. They just reopened a short time ago. It's still tied up, but it's winter driving all the way to Vail. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. YRefi refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Hey, you know what? FixMyHome.com is the website you got to go to. FixMyHome.com for Fix It 24/7, which is now part. Fix It 24/7 and 888heating.com are now together in one company. Fix It 24/7. You know what that means? That means the best prices for high efficiency units anywhere. That's what 888 Heating guarantees, and that's what Fix It 24/7 does. For the same high efficiency equipment, you won't get a better deal. Plus, you get the deep clean, the extreme clean for just $39. Get your air conditioner ready for the coming season. Don't be caught with your pants down or your shirt off or whatever the expression is. You just don't want to be overly heated when the heat comes. So give them a call, and that's 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939, fixmyhome.com. Are you looking to keep that coolness in your home and the heat in your home when you need it? Gravina's Windows, Siding, and Doors. Gravina's has the answer for you. Do you know what Gravina's is? Gravina's is a company that has the heritage most people wish they had. You know what? But they don't. This is the original Gravina family from the 60s and 70s. Nick took over from his dad in the 80s, and then his son, well, no, not Nick, I mean Larry, and Nick joined his dad, Larry. This is a company that's been around for years and years and years, and they have what you're looking for when it comes to your siding, your doors, your windows. They have 50 lines of windows. 303-GRAVINA, 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 or gravinas.com.
Thank you, Tom. Leaving the IP open to third-party access can be an issue. So
I just didn't know if you could do it through Spreaker or something like that.
Right? No.
Listen
and
to
it's
John.
Such a weird...
Listen to John getting all technical.
He's learning.
He could use your help sometime if you want to change everything.
Maybe you could come over and help rewire these things.
Come over, not to change a thing.
Hey, you laugh at me, but I can do it. I can do it, God damn it.
You kind of do okay for, the drunken monkey theory.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
DoorDash, here I come.
Well, I think I did all right. When I first fired this thing up, the power supply for the Roadcaster was not working. My Lucy light was not working. My keyboard was not working.
Something our
fried
world,
the power
John.
supply.
Welcome to our world.
I know. And I rebooted and fired up all that and got the extra monitor working. All that in like 21 minutes. I think that was pretty good.
That's good.
Very proud.
Yeah. Small
like I
little
say,
baby
hopefully
steps.
they refund the
Creamy mac and
35
cheese.
quid.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath on that one. About as likely as Tom buying premium mac and cheese for everybody, you know.
Well, I'm buying it for everybody here.
Including the houseboy.
He's pretty good about keeping the houseboy hidden over there. I've never run into him. There were small shoes by the stairwell last time, but I don't know who they belong to, you know.
You hear a noise from the basement.
Tim, Mark is dealing with bus problems today.
Oh, man.
At his age, he's dealing with leakage.
He's dealing with
Drippage.
leakage.
It happens.
Yeah, seriously, there was
Call that yoga.
all the rain that was having, like on their motorhome.
Oh, there's nothing
Did
like
Mark get up
water
and do
just
yoga this
pouring
morning,
down
too?
out of your ceilings.
No.
Called to get
It's a lot of
quote,
fun.
and
Mark goes into panic mode.
dollars.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh, my God.
Mom suggested call while I
Especially since your bus is in the barn.
No, well, we had to move it back into the barn and live in it. We've been living in it for a week.
guess, you know,
Oh, that's okay.
So
Welcome to my world.
I just put something that white sealant that I see for.
yeah.
it's not as fun as like being at a campsite.
No.
Oh, the strangest thing happened at I went to a car wash. Up, kind of by much farther.
I always tip
You know what?
better than they tip.
You do
These
your credit card
assholes.
and it's just as
You
long
get
as
these
you're
kids to
there.
come out for nothing.
It came to
I'm a pretty good tipper.
Oh, I am when it comes to delivery because I don't want them spitting in my food.
And I check my credit card every day.
Wow.
$10.
Or they're walking away
No,
saying,
no, no,
sucker.
no, 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 please no. Fuck no. I gave the
No.
wrong address, son of a bitch.
Oh, you gave him Bonnie Bray,
No,
didn't
I didn't
you?
give him. I didn't even
my-
give him Bonnie Bray. No, I didn't.
Did you give him the station? I'll eat it.
No,
No
I
kidding.
gave him
I'd
something
slip your
else.
noodle.
Credit back.
Oh, they did. Okay.
God damn it!
Well,
Fuck!
Hey,
I gave him the
better
wrong
hang
address,
on.
Here's
son of a bitch.
What address could you possibly have given?
Okay,
Look at
I
his
don't want to say
charity.
it right now, but it
Hang on.
has to do with where I go on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, Tom Martino here. What do you do when you go on DoorDash and give the wrong address? How do you change it?
charity.
There's got to be a way to change it. Come on, man. How do you do it? There's got to be a way to change your address. Right? Okay,
Can you
change your address.
contact
I
the
just
driver?
found it. Oh, thank God I've just found it. Because it was going somewhere that I don't go right now today. Okay, I changed my address. This is a good app. I just changed my address. So there you go. I think it's going to be good. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I digress. I'm doing a radio show, right? I guess I got to get out of DoorDash here. Okay, so let's talk about this follow-up with Dimitri. I'm going to put you on the camera here, Dimitri, with us. So what's going on with Christy? Let's recap the problem first.
You know, Christy called us a couple of weeks ago because she just bought a new Honda Hybrid. And her complaint was that it's making two noises. One is kind of a tick, 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 tick sound, which comes and goes. And the other one is this very high pitched, like,
Oh, I
under
like
certain
these.
circumstances.
All right.
And you know, it seems like most people thought she was kind of crazy.
Really?
But well, it's a sound that she said only she can hear and not everybody else can hear. There it is. That's exactly what I heard. So
wait, you actually heard it?
Yeah, Kevin from Sheridan Autotech and I went for a ride with Christy, and Kevin only heard the sound once, but I heard it probably a dozen times. And it was very clear to me that the sound...
Is this the Kia Sportage?
No,
Oh.
the Honda... I can't remember what Honda, but it's a brand new...
CRV.
That's it. It's a really nice looking car with beautiful blue paint, by the way.
For some reason, I can't find her original call.
It's okay. She's here in my notes.
Because you're not spelling it right.
How am I spelling it? How should I spell it?
No Y, do an I.
Yeah,
CHRI. Okay, got it. Okay.
TIE.
Go ahead.
So
I could tell you I went on a trip with my sisters last week, and one sister could hear it and one sister could not. So it is selective who gets to hear it.
yeah, I'm not surprised, Tom. If you can imagine a high-pitched sound that borders on ultrasonic. And
I see it now.
Have you ever been to a dentist that uses one of those ultrasonic cleaning?
Wait a minute. So some people hear it and some people don't.
Yeah.
No, I've heard it. Listen, that's not uncommon. There are frequencies some people can't stand and they can hear and other people can't.
And I think you're one of those because I think you used to hear the high-pitched sound from old TVs.
Right.
The ones with the old CRT screen.
That's exactly right.
I heard it too.
Now, what are we going to do about it, though? We'll talk about that coming back. I'm Tom Martino. Stick around, Christy. And then Ray needs investment advice. We'll talk to him coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or 303-MARTINO.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Reminds me there's some frequencies I wish I couldn't hear.
Oh, man, what's the weather out today anyway? Is it cold?
You don't talk to your phone?
No, I'm an AI resistor. This morning, let me tell you, it's the first time because the highway was light at 5 a.m. with the light of cars. First time I did auto drive to bring me to yoga.
Oh.
Mark is going to be so proud that I tried this because I got to get used to it now that I'm getting an X. I got to embrace.
Right, and you want to be kind of curved.
But I'm not talking to my phone. Siri, what's the temperature out? Troubleshooter Show, what's your first name? Oh, yeah, this is Sue's, by the way, today. Kelly's out. Oh, that's okay. 303-455-7242.
Oh, okay.
Sure don't. Bye.
I see what you're saying. Okay. What should we do about the prescription? Should we just call over there and say if they can't get it to move it?
Oh, boy.
Hello? Can you go over and see if they have it? And then when they
we went to the Avs game last night with Excel Roofing Group, and Tom's daughter Dolce was there, and one of Henry's project managers, who's a younger guy. He couldn't be more than 25, 30. I don't know. I'm not good with that anymore. But I got introduced to the guy with Dolce. I was like, hi, I'm Sue. Then fast forward like 15 minutes later, same guy comes up with two other kids. And he goes, oh, this is Dolce's mom. I was like, no, I'm not Dolce's mom. I'm old enough to be her mother, but I'm not her mother.
Whoops. I know enough about Tom, but not that much.
Hey, wait a minute. Are we out of time?
Compared to what?
Oh, I just realized we're not.
We're on the top of the hour.
Yeah, I forgot. I just realized that. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Yeah, I gotta come out. I gotta come out of my ass.
Make it a double.
You want anything, brother?
Have you ever heard of a coffee enema? I guess people do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. It's just like, I don't know.
I find that the K-Pods make it easier.
I'm a little slow.
I'm really more of a Nespresso kind of guy.
Well, of course, you're in a different tax bracket, and they're smoother. Little round pods.
Guess what? Grills are finally gone. Off the deck.
Was that a thing? What do you mean?
Yes. Mark is a grill hoarder and a box hoarder. He likes keeping old vacuums and old steam cleaners that don't work.
Dump them or sell them or what?
Hell no, we put those right in the dumpster. The second dumpster we've gotten in the last 2 weeks.
You got rid of grills? I would have taken one for my ex. One of my exes would like a grill.
I don't know that you want that grill.
Understood.
If I thought it was giveawayable, I would have touched base.
Well, you don't have this. Oh, when you look in your trash, think of me every time, would you?
You know what? I will.
No.
For real, I will. Like, hey, do you guys...
something like that, because I'm going to get her one. Just checking. Ross keeps digging through the dumpster down in the basement where they throw away all the electronics, and he's like, dude, you know what I just found? I'm like, God, I got to start checking that dumpster. It sounds great.
He's dumpster diving now?
Yes, well, yeah.
So what are some of the coolest things
But
you
it's
found?
really good stuff.
Like what?
Some really high-end power strips.
Mm-hmm.
And
good grief.
Some USB-C chargers that are very unique. He's gotten some audio boards out of there. All sorts of crap that they throw away.
Wow.
Well, they recycle it, but we're kind of allowed to dig through there.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Marketplace is full of dumpster dreams. Hellcat, I'm too damn lazy. Plus, I don't trust anyone coming to my house.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
I thought about that, and I'm like, you can just give, my sister's like, you can just give all that stuff away for free. I'm not having all these people come to my house.
No. Well, and I used to
Scope
go
out
to
the
a lot of
scene.
houses to get stuff off of Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I bought an audio board years ago from a guy, and he's like, well, my recording studio's in the basement. Just head on down. I was like, fine, all right. I hope they eventually find my body. That's all I want. It was freakish.
Oh,
I don't know why I did it.
I tell you,
$150 for an old
ever
Mackie board.
have a
Stupid.
out at your house, I guarantee you need.
Oh, my gosh.
Really? It seems like you just fill them up. And
I'm sort of considering a ridiculously expensive espresso maker.
Oh, really?
But it's used, and so it's half off, but it's still $1,500.
What kind is it?
Breville.
Yeah.
Oracle Touch. Oracle Jet Touch. So it's their top of the line.
Just go buy some $1,500 worth of coffee at Starbucks. How long would that take?
I don't know. I already have $500 worth of Starbucks. I wish I could trade it, but I'm a moron. And I don't even like the Starbucks. It's been gifts. People have been giving me cards for doing stuff. And and it's got me jonesing to make my own sissy latte art. I can make a swan.
I have a $40 frother that works like a dream. Heats it up, foams it. That's the only thing that I care about anymore when it comes to my coffee.
That's
I have
true.
Froth. The more
I have
froth,
one of
the
those
better.
espresso machines.
What'd you have?
I have the La Especial DeLonghi.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, golly, that's nice. Hey, you weren't playing around.
Only
no, it's nice. The only thing I don't, the good and the bad of it is that it grinds the beans every time you want a cup, and it's loud. You know? So, like if it's super early in the morning and your significant other is asleep, you don't dare come out there and grind a fresh cup of coffee. You know?
Right.
It'll have the opposite effect. You'll be wired and she'll be pissed.
Okay.
You know?
Good call.
There's a lot of difference.
Very good call.
Sure. You know.
So we don't have an update for her then, basically.
So what I'm going to tell her is, so the plan was and still is for me to make
There we go.
her and me at a Honda dealership.
Okay.
And the two that
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What we do is solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, recovering millions of dollars for cash merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. I got John Fuller with me at Fuller Law. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, but he's also our go-to expert for other legal stuff, and we use him as a co-host, which he's doing today. So chime in, John, whenever you can, but I don't take breaths, so it's going to be hard. Christy, she had this car that's making a noise. I often wonder, though, If you're susceptible or sensitive to a noise and no one else hears it, what does the manufacturer have to do? Well, Dimitri went and heard the noise. Christy said sometimes people hear it, sometimes people don't. Would you say, Christy or Dimitri, the majority of people hear the noise or do not hear the noise?
Now, based on my personal experience with hearing other high-pitched sounds, I would say almost nobody can hear this sound. However,
what is a manufacturer to do or a dealer when someone says, I don't like that high-pitched squeal? It's a hybrid car, right?
Yeah, it's a hybrid car. And in my view, the high-pitched sound is associated with the recharging system. I heard.
Why? Only when you let off on the gas?
When you let off the gas, it becomes apparent and then intensifies when you step on the brakes, which kind of makes sense because that's when the recharging system.
I do hear it at all speeds. I hear it at all speeds, but you're right. It is louder when you're coasting and it louder yet when you're braking. But did you get a chance to call a Honda service to see if they've heard this from others?
Yeah, I contacted 200.
This is what he wants to do.
Yeah,
Listen.
This is our next step, and it's still on my front burner. So I'm going to follow up as soon as this phone call is concluded. But last week, I left very detailed voice messages for GMs at 2 Honda dealers, Planet Honda, and I forgot the other one. And what I asked for was for them to kind of make an appointment for you and me to come in with that car and discuss the sound, see if they can hear it, see if they've heard this complaint before, and if they have, what has the manufacturer done about it? My question really is it's not my intent to point the finger at Honda for making a defective vehicle.
And what kind is it, a CRV?
Yeah, it's a CRV, let's see.
Hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. Yeah, CRV
hybrid.
Sport hybrid. So it could be that this sound, Christy, is within the design parameters of the vehicle, in which case our options, well, we won't have any options to fix it. But if they say, hey, look, sometimes we can swap out this diode or resistor or something like that.
So look what I found on Reddit.
Uh-huh.
I bought a 2024 CRV hybrid. And earlier today, and for the next 10 miles, I hear a high-pitched whistle.
Yeah.
Did you read this on Reddit?
No,
There's all kinds of people who are experiencing this on Reddit. Mm-hmm. One said, same thing here. I have a 23 hybrid.
I would like to add that we did drive another carbon copy. My daughter and I drove that other vehicle just exactly like mine, and it did not make the noise. So even though I wouldn't say it's a bad design or whatever term you use, malfunctioning, I don't think it's apparent or there, and it doesn't manifest in every version of the car.
That's what they're saying on Reddit. They're saying select models because they've gone back and done the same thing you did and took test drives in other cars that don't have the noise.
Do any of those people
drove the
say,
same model, same year, same model,
hang on, Christy.
Same trim.
Tom, do any of those posts on Reddit suggest a fix? Have any?
Here's what they're saying. Here's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. One had a Honda Engineering look into it. Information is not yet available, but Honda's internal engineering troubleshooting forum, they're talking about it. And I've had it back 3 months. The whining has been completely gone since I got it back. They didn't say what happened, though. I know this is an old post, but I want to respond. I have the same noise. It's in my 2025. Can you send me the dealership that actually fixed it? Apparently, corporate Honda hasn't issued any kind of a service bulletin. However, the dealership test did confirm that there is a noise coming from it. This is weird. This is truly weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first they told me, the service I went to told me they couldn't hear it, and then I had other people drive it, and then they said, oh, they can hear it, but it's normal operation.
Yeah, I mean, so Christy, so here's my next step. I think we have 3 or 4 more Honda dealers here that I haven't called yet. I started with the ones that are closest to you because you're in the Springs. So let me call the other ones and let me see if I can get one of them. I'm going to call them right now. And I'm going to see if one of them would be willing to make an appointment for both of us to come in and discuss this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Not in an accusatory way, but in what you just did. Hey, have you heard this before? And if so, have you ever been able to fix it? So, Christy, I'll be in touch as soon as I make that appointment.
All right, Christy, thank you for calling. We'll be in touch with you. 303-713-8255. Ray, what's going on with you, Ray? Welcome.
Hey, Tom, thank you very much. Hey, first I wanted to thank you and your team for providing the knowledge, means, and connections for those that are less informed. You do great, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So anyways, I just closed on a house yesterday, which will net me after taxes, expenses, et cetera, about 1.8.
Wow, that must have been one hell of a house. Wait a minute. You just closed on it and you're going to net 1.8?
Yes, after tax liability, yeah, everything. Yeah.
Even after your gain, you're going to get 1.8 clean.
After my capital gains, paying my $225, $250, and on the capital gains tax, I'm going to net about 1.8. I got a check. I got basically a wire yesterday for 2.15. And out of that, I'll have at least 1.8, and it's probably actually closer to 1.9, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you might have any suggestions as to a certain sector in the market, stock market to follow, or if it might be best just to follow the S&P. Since I'm hitting the market at a very nice time being down, if I could kind of get between now and the end of the year a return of 10%, I will have hit a home run.
Ray,
so,
a few
but
things.
I'm a little leery as to being very aggressive given the current economic conditions.
No, I get you. Ray, first and foremost, I want to ask some very stupid questions that you probably are but I just need to ask them. Do you have, first of all, your cash emergency fund?
Yes. Besides this, whatever you want to call this, the 1.8 to 2.15, I have an additional, 1.8 in the market right now.
Okay. So, but do you have an emergency? And you don't have high interest debt, right?
I have no debt.
Okay.
I have 3.5 in real estate.
And do you do your own, Ray? Do you, when you said in the market, do you do your own investing?
Partially, approximately of 1.8, maybe 1/3. Yes, the rest is handed over to an advisor.
And is it, again, I hate to harp on this, is it an advisor that truly works with your portfolio, or is it an advisor who's a middleman for a big advisor?
No, he's a top-notch, high-end fiduciary advisor. I've been with for about 10 years now.
Excellent.
With
so
this gentleman.
he works with you directly.
Correct.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Now
he answers all the right questions and contacts me about, as necessary, but once every 6 weeks, definitely.
Well, Ray, that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So why don't you ask him? Because I don't believe, I do believe in indexed funds, S&P, because over the long run, S&P has come through every time. It's never ended a long period. I mean, it ends negative here and there, but it's the long trend is positive. But if you already, this is my question, if you already have an advisor, why would you be asking about that? What would he tell you or she tell you?
I'm about ready to get into that in about the next day. However, I totally respect your opinion, Tom.
Okay,
I've been listening to you
here's
for a
what
long
I would
time,
like. Okay, what I think is, okay, first of all, what we would do with you, and I'm not trying to, you already have a great advisor. I'm not trying to weasel in on it, but at least some of your money, what we would do is probably a hedge fund, and you want a hedge fund that thrives in volatile markets because it's going to be volatile, but you also want one that doesn't lose in a steady market. Now, most hedge funds are called hedge funds because they are best when the market is volatile or down. When the market does really good, hedge funds can do well, but they don't necessarily outpace the market. However, in my humble opinion, over the next several months, we're going to have some volatile stock markets. and it would be a great time for a well-placed hedge fund. And again, I'm not allowed to advertise hedge funds, but they are available, private hedge funds. They're called Reg D funds. Ask your advisor about it. If you'd like to know about one I'm familiar with, hint, hint, you can. But seriously, I wouldn't do the whole thing with it, but I would do a good part with that. And then there is always, and Ray, I talk not against, but I talk for and against fixed indexed annuities, depending on who you are and what you have. You sound like you have enough and you're smart enough that you're going to have some good income, but there's never, ever anything wrong with putting a portion of a portfolio into a fixed indexed annuity. I did that with mine. I put a certain percentage into a fixed indexed annuity that will give me a whole crap load of money every month when I want to. And I think I set it at 75. I'm 71 right now. Another thing is, like I said, the hedge fund, and then the S&P 500. If you actually do an index fund, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, if you're going to do it yourself, that's fine. Just be really careful. And then you might want to ask your financial advisor about hedge funds. There are some really good ones out there. There's some really bad ones out there. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
All right.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
CMG Financial is our mortgage, well, not my mortgage company, but the one that we tout because John Clace gives personalized service. If you want a loan, he'll hold your hand through the process. That's what you want. CMG Financial, whether you want a reverse loan, a conventional loan, or the all-in-one loan, which is a 30-year line of credit on your equity that you can borrow up and pay down at will, controlling what you owe and controlling your interest by how much money you keep in the bank. Find out more. 303-882-6679, 882-6679, partnerinlending.com. O'Brien Legal Services, you need him now. If you're a landlord right now, I mean, he does everything real estate, including closings and all that. But let's talk now about being a landlord in this day and age. Right now, the government has come up with laws that make it very difficult to be a landlord. If you need help with your leases to protect you, contact O'Brien, Brad O'Brien and his team at O'Brien Legal Services. That's OLS, O'Brien Legal Services, OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388.
Thank you. I keep hearing the expression with Trump, mandate, and I think, you know what? You know who would like a mandate? Tom.
Shannon, you are a nut.
Maybe go out, catch a movie, go bowling, brewski, hit the steam baths on Colfax.
Suze, I'm going to text you something.
About suing me?
I had a client come in one time, or at least a potential client, that was basically being prosecuted for a probation violation based on a visit to one of the steam baths that you mentioned.
Well, there's really just the one lake steam bath.
Probation.
Really?
His probation did not allow such things. So.
To visit what?
Like the lake steam baths on West Colfax?
Oh.
There was another one out there, because that doesn't ring a bell, but there was one that was old, had been there forever. And he apparently had, I don't know.
Well, there's the Idaho Springs one, too. But that's all kind of above board. Well, they do have the private grotto.
Do they still have those steam baths out on West Colfax, on East Colfax and West?
Yes, I did finally scratch that itch on figuring out what the hell was going on. I went in. And it is all nude. It's all male and all nude. Oh, yeah. No, I went in and it was a Saturday night. It was kind of funny. I said,
is it all a bunch of older guys?
Yeah, well, yeah, about my age.
Very
50s.
friendly.
Oh, well, hold on a second. Seriously? Are you serious, Shannon?
Oh, I've been serious as dick cancer. Yeah, I went in.
I
went in on a...
Did they play...
I went in on a Saturday night.
Did they play Bury the Bone? What's going on?
No. I will say that one guy did kind of float over to say hi in the tub, but other than that, nothing inappropriate.
Did you go to Zunai, Shannon, also?
No, I don't know Zunai. No,
So Mark says, hey, I'm going to go to a steam bath off Colfax. I should probably be concerned.
Well, I don't know. So I went on a Saturday, and I said to the guy, I've never been in here. He goes, oh, you're here on Russian night. Russian night. And so there was a ton of Russian guys in there. He says, they really like it hot. And it was unbearably hot in the steam room. But they're whacking each other with eucalyptus branches.
Yeah. Wait, is it?
Because that's their thing?
Just let's put it out there. Is it a sex for hire joint?
Not at all. No, I don't even think you can get... They might offer massages, but it's all... The doors are open. There's nothing weird going on at all. It really is just a kick-ass, hot and cold bath and shower. You know, all the stuff that the Romans used to do without the humping. It really was relaxing, basically, but it is all nude.
I don't want to get too graphic.
They do have a women's night.
When you walk in,
they have a women's night.
What whiff in the air is it? What kind of scent?
Oh, hot water and salt. Hang on.
App. You know, I'm just fascinated watching my DoorDash driver drive all over the place. And what was really weird is he went through the roundabout 6 times. What the heck is that? Did you ever
my gosh, in your neighborhood there?
He came in. No, it's not. It's before you get there's a roundabout not far from here, and it looked like he went around it again, went around it again, and I think I counted 6 times.
Gosh.
Now,
wow.
We earlier in the show we talked about cars. And the woman had a problem at 114,000 or 140, whatever. And Kevin was saying, look, cars, if you want them to last a long time, Japanese last a long time. German cars right now, you get them new, you get rid of them after 3 years because they have expensive breakdowns and expensive maintenance and they leak oil. So I was wondering if there was such thing as a record holder for miles. So, this is a documented case of Irving Gordon. Now, Irving Gordon has a 1966 Volvo P1800S, which has accumulated... Dun, da, da, da. I'm going to ask John Fuller to take a guess what it has accumulated since 1966 in mileage. And it's verified by Car and Driver and all those.
2.4 million miles.
You know what? I'm surprised that you would say into the millions. Why did you say that?
It just seems about right. You got 50 years of driving.
66 is 50 years. You're right. That's where at least. Now,
I know.
Now, here it is.
Close to 60.
Irving Gordon, 1966 Volvo, accumulated more than 3.2 million miles. Now, here's some
only off by a million.
Here's some runners up. A 1991 Chevy Silverado, 1 million miles. A 1997 Ford E250 cargo van, 1.3 million miles. A 1991, again, Chevy Silverado, 1.2 million miles. How is that? Would you like to be part of that? Now, what's the highest miles accumulated on a motorcycle? It was a 1991 Harley Davidson. How many miles do you think, John?
On a Harley? Oh, I don't know.
It's a 91.
700,000.
Well, it's 1 million. 1 million. So that's pretty incredible. Those are actual mileages. So getting back to investing, I'm getting some texts. And people are saying, well, first of all, let me tell you what I found. And then I verified it. With my financial advisement company, we found this to be so. And so I looked into it, and I actually found a study that backed it up by Yahoo Finance and the Census Bureau. Female portfolios, investment portfolios, routinely return less than male investment portfolios. The question is why? I mean, once they sign on with most investment advisors they just pass your portfolio on to a big advisor. And again, you're an account number. So it can't be that they know you're female and purposely invest in different things. But no matter what, it absolutely positively is a known fact that women tend to get less in investing than men. Now, here have been some explanations like texted to me. And you can text me, by the way, 747-999-5280. That comes directly to me. Now, you can go through the iHeart one, too. The short code is 57739. But most of my texts come through 747-999-5280. Somebody said, Tom, I think you're right. It's the way they're answering questionnaires or doing preliminary interviews. Women tend to give off the vibe that they're conservative when it comes to investing or don't want to take a lot of risk and are very, very principle-oriented. Perhaps that's why their portfolios end up making less money. Somebody else said just the opposite of that, meaning it agrees with it, but it's the opposite end. It says males are more aggressive, willing to take more risk. It comes through in their interviews with financial advisors who then invest accordingly. And that's what it's got to be. I doubt, as I said, anyone says, hey, this is a woman, let's make her less money. It just doesn't happen that way. 303-713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you have a garage door, you want to know One Clear Choice Doors because they have 24/7 service, broken springs, problems, anything to do with your door, they can fix. Anything, the door or the opener. Here's their phone number, 720-370-3987. They're simply the best. OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
All right.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half.
Foods here.
Yeah, we're still dealing with delays out on 225.
That
it's
was one
northbound at
expensive
6th
bowl of
Avenue. We've
mac
had
and
several
cheese.
police officers, an ambulance, and it looks like a crash, but we haven't got confirmation on it. Regardless, it is backed up in that area coming through. It's northbound only, but southbound may be affected a little bit. Little jamming in there. 270 east coming off I-76 and through Vasquez. Little slowing even coming out of the airport on Pena is just a little on the slow side. Mountain roads, a little tough, a little icy. If you're heading up to the tunnels, it's been closed off and on for safety.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
You know, lately you've been hearing Mark talk about his weight loss journey with DenverRegen.com. He's doing the Tirzepatide monthly for pennies on the dollar compared to the prescriptions that you get from other doctors. It's the real deal, and Mark is having considerable success. But I also want to tell you about their stem cell therapy. Unbelievable therapy to get out of pain for joints, painful back, whatever ails you. Check them out for stem cell therapy too. Don't forget that. DenverRegen.com. Hey, we talk about investments a lot on this show, and you heard me talking about maybe having part of your portfolio as a fixed indexed annuity. Well, Joseph Chiano, a certified financial planner, is one of the ones we recommend for that. 303-779-6600. MyMoneyMyWay.com. 303-779-6600. No, it shouldn't be the first thing you invest in or the last thing you invest in, but it should be something you consider for safety, security, and income during retirement. 303-779-6600. How much time do I have now?
Not accurate. Just like 4 minutes.
Thanks.
Just say 4. I don't know.
I'll be back.
It's probably going to be 3.5. Nope, it's 4. Oof.
Well, at least we have Fuller here, because he can open if anything
Yeah.
happens.
I got you.
I'll just panic.
Yep.
I just got you. Don't you worry.
You know, I got to pop those filler spots out, not Fuller. Filler spots out so I can get an accurate time remaining for Tommy, but I didn't do it. That's a long story. Short story long. Well, that'd actually be a pretty good autobiography for Tom. Short story
Shannon,
long.
how do you compare your experience at the bath club with, like, say, the Denver Swim Club?
I don't know the Denver Swim Club. Is that actually gay? Because, you know, we had a board up here, go work there. Ed went and worked there. Suze, are you?
I'm sorry, I'm reading John Cheeseman's. He says, Tom, a lot of people have high mileage vehicles. Unlike you and Mark, we are not wealthy.
Well.
And have to make it last through good maintenance. 2011 Ram 1500, 235,000, no drivetrain issues. So what are you saying, John? Do you need advice?
Good morning, Troubleshooter Show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the
Are you
gang?
asking me?
No, John Cheeseman on YouTube.
Oh.
Sorry, I just got hung up on his comment.
Oh,
It was
hang
a
on,
little
he's
bit.
over at Tom's
I don't
house.
know, like
Well,
unlike
maybe
you
talk
and
to Suze
Mark,
to figure out how
huh?
to make
Yeah,
that
unlike you with the X on the way, I've got to learn how to do the self-driving. Gosh, I just don't know how to
This
push
guy
the
needs to
button to
hook
have
up.
my car escort me to my yoga class after I get out of my $500,000 bus that I can't decide whether to park in my barn or outside in the treacherous snow and stuff, you know.
And stop by the steam baths.
Using my fancy made-in pans and my, luxurious
Made-in, wow.
And she
But
has
I'm
to
not-
watch
so
the
you're saying
helipad
that's
for Tom.
you know?
Well, you've had it. That's a full arc there, Suze.
But I'm not jealous. Don't get any ideas.
Do you see what she has to put up with, though, for that lifestyle?
Yeah, I still have to drive my own damn car and stuff. I mean, shit.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, we had a board op that was laid off and then ended up working at that other bath club on Colfax.
Who was that?
Interesting.
Ed? He did?
Well, that was-
I thought he worked at the pot shop.
At the time, the Denver Law School was
Oh,
right
maybe
there
his
at the old
husband
women's
was
college,
with
you know.
What's that?
I said at the time that I went to law school, the Denver DU Law School was out there at the old women's college on Quebec and Colfax, which was right there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had to go by that place like daily to go to the grocery store and anywhere else you wanted to go. And it was always full. I don't even know if it's still in business, but I mean, it was full with nothing but high-end cars and stuff. I mean, all the big Mercedes and stuff would be in there. It's like, wow, you know.
Well, Shannon, you were talking about West Colfax, weren't you?
Yeah, he's on the opposite end of Colfax.
Mark is so high maintenance. Thank God he has Suze. You're damn right, MR. You're right. It's Mark. It's all Mark.
Oh, we poor thing.
Okay.
She is really paying the cost. Did you grab your noodle?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I ate my noodle.
Throw some Tabasco in that and call it Bernie mac and cheese.
I love Tabasco. The hotter, the better. Aardvark sauce. Thank you, Savvy. Oh, my God.
All right, here we go.
drhi.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John, I have a text here that says that they feel like they're being screwed around. They got into an accident. It was clearly the other guy's fault, but they're both insured by the same company. He doesn't know where to turn. So if they both have the same insurance carrier, what finagling usually goes on? Is there any kind of things to watch out for with that? John Fuller, our personal injury expert.
Well, I mean, the insurance company owes a fiduciary duty to both parties. And so technically they should, build a Chinese wall or whatever you would call it between the two, and they should handle it just like they would any other two accidents where they have one client that got in an accident and the other client that caused it.
Right.
Now, the reality is that's not always the easiest to pull off. I mean, we've handled many, many cases over the years. There are some carriers that just abuse the heck out of that, and they lie to their insureds about things like MedPay and stuff. And I've caught one in particular that rhymes with Progressive, and just flat lying to their insureds a number of times about the proper way to handle things like MedPay and stuff like that. So you do have to be wary. You're better off always to have somebody on your side that's been down this road many times, and we certainly have.
Okay, so I always thought if they were both insured, maybe I'm thinking that's too petty, maybe. I was thinking they're both insured, they'll go to the one that has the deductible. I don't know. But meaning that.
Well, I mean, you're only talking about property damage when you think about a deductible and stuff, because they just don't come into play.
But
for
as far as personal injury
goes,
you would never use your underinsured, uninsured because the other party is your party.
Well, you might use your uninsured if it stacks on top and your damages are greater than what the other guy had.
So you actually treat it like any other claim.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
With the asterisk that you're going to keep an eye on them and make sure they're doing things right. And they're not trying to cheat their own insured.
Somebody said also, this is another text. Speaking of MedPay, they said they have Fred Loya, and they noticed they did not have MedPay. And when they called the agent,
I was going to say, and they don't.
When they called the agent told them it was unavailable to them.
Well, that's really that's sad, because the state of Colorado mandates that MedPay is available. It's a required coverage, and yet I've never seen a Fred Loya policy where the contracts are not printed out with the MedPay waived. I've never seen a Fred Loya contract that has MedPay. So how can that be? I think that's a great
what they
question
do is
to
they
take
get
up
him
with
to
the
sign
insurance
it
commission.
and they get him to waive it.
That's right. They print the contract out already waived and have them sign the contract.
Tell me why
but
a
it's
company,
a fallacy
Mark,
to say that it's not available.
John,
Well,
tell me why
they
a
hate MedPay.
John, tell me why a company like Fred Loya would have a vested interest in not writing MedPay. Why?
Okay, in a traditional concept or in a traditional context, when an insurance company pays for medical bills for injury-related treatment, they typically have a right of subrogation, which means they have a right to get paid back at the conclusion of the case. MedPay is non-subrogable, which is a fancy way of saying they don't ever get paid back. So if their insured is at fault or their insured is not at fault, they're still going to have to pay out the amount of the coverage, and they never get paid back. And that's why the insurance companies hate MedPay.
Why do they even have it as a product if they hate it?
Because the state of Colorado said you have to have it. It's a required mandatory coverage.
So Fred Loya, you're telling me
from the old no fault that we had.
You've never seen a Fred Loya policy where people had MedPay?
Not one time.
That's astounding, John. That means that they are
not one time.
They're talking their insured into not taking it. But they're probably saying it like this. Listen, you can save some money if you'd knock off MedPay. You really don't need it. If somebody's at fault, they have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly right. So, I mean, in the state of Colorado, the at-fault party is always responsible for your medical bills. And so we don't need this coverage here. It's kind of redundant, and, you wouldn't want to pay for coverage that the other guy's responsible for. So just sign here and we'll take care of that.
Okay, so if that's
ridiculous.
the case.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
But how much does MedPay cost usually? Why don't they just charge more for it if they want to? Why don't they just charge more if they want to discourage it?
MedPay costs less than a trip through a McDonald's drive-through for lunch.
But here's what I'm asking, though. If they don't like the coverage, couldn't an insurance company make it cost prohibitive?
Yeah, I guess, but then they'd only do so at the risk of losing all the rest of that client's business. And I mean, everything has to be priced based on risk and the actuarial tables and stuff. But I'm just saying that conceptually, when the state of Colorado put the insurance question on the ballot, and when they decided to get rid of the no-fault coverage that we had almost 20 years ago now, what happened was the hospitals found themselves having to treat people, which the federal laws require them to do, but they never got paid because, a car accident case can take 1 to 3 years to get resolved. And if the at-fault party is technically responsible for those bills, the hospitals and the ERs were not getting paid for 1 to 3 years down the road. And so these hospitals started going, especially the municipally owned hospitals, started going to their cities and saying, guys, we're going under. We can't keep doing this. We're not a charitable organization. We can't treat people day in and day out for nothing. We have to get paid. And the legislature finally said, okay, here's the solution. We're going to reinstate a level of mandatory coverage on the auto policies that are issued in this state. Okay. We're going to require this coverage. It's primarily for emergency and ambulance coverage. If you don't use it for that, you can use it for anything else. But it was a wholly self-serving, law that they put in effect.
Gotcha. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Is Dimitri on the phone with this update, or is he going to be here?
No, he just emailed, so I wanted to be sure you saw it.
Okay, we'll do that right after this. I just want to have him come on and give this update, and we have more coming up right after this. I want to tell you first about Renew Home Innovations and the most beautiful, beautiful bathrooms. They do shower conversions with pure porcelain sheets. They can do the walls, backsplashes. They can do countertops. You need to check them out. They do these beautiful showers with no maintenance and absolute awe-inspiring. They do them in 2 or 3 days with several different ways to finance and to pay. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. It only takes 2 or 3 days to do this. RenewHomeInnovations.com.
Yep.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, we're still dealing with delays out on 225. It's northbound at 6th Avenue. We've had several police officers, an ambulance, and it looks like a crash, but we haven't got confirmation on it. Regardless, it is backed up in that area coming through. It's northbound only, but southbound may be affected a little bit. A little jamming in there. 270 east coming off 576 and through Vasquez. A little slowing even coming out of the airport on Pena is just a little on the slow side. Mountain roads, a little tough, a little icy. If you're heading up to the tunnels, it's been closed off and on for safety precaution. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
When I got in the financial advisement industry, one thing I found, so many people would like to make investments with their IRAs or their 401ks, but they can't, because it must be done in a very special way. Well, I have good news for you. I have discovered the way to do it, and I'm doing it for many, many people, and I can do it for you. If you have alternative investments you're interested in, find out the process to do it legally and to get tax-free returns on your returns. Call us at 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. you can call it or go to the website, Wave 8 Capital. That's the number 8, wave8capital.com. How much time do I have?
You have 4.
Thanks.
Must have been a bad batch of macaroni.
$99 leaf.
Man, they're like
What,
really
that it's coming
quiet
out of them
about
already,
it.
or what do you mean?
Exactly.
Sounds.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I have had some double quarter pounders hit the fast lane lately. I don't know. I hope that's not. I think it would be worse if it was the Ebola again. I just don't want to scare anybody off of my damn. Love my double quarter pounders. And when you say that MedPay is cheaper than a trip through McDonald's, is that like family of 4, or is that my, 'cause I'm using the app.
Now I'm connecting the dots.
It's
what
like-
you're saying.
It's like $14 a month. I mean,
Okay, so 3 people at McDonald's.
shit. What are you buying? Happy Meals or something? Or
No,
like
I use the app, and I can almost kill myself for $8.
No, you cannot.
Oh, yeah, I get 3 double cheeseburgers for
Oh my
that.
gosh, really? You eat that many at once?
I could probably definitely do
I thought I was a big eater.
Oh, no. Oh,
I can throw down some double cheeseburgers. It's been several years, but I can.
I ate a double quarter pounder deluxe on the way to the deli, at the Bagel Deli up here on Hampton.
Oh, my gosh.
Saturday. They're like, well, we'll be there in about 20 minutes. I was like, well, I'll stop and get a burger before we go in. 'Cause it ain't gonna be
I bet you didn't stop and hit the McDonald's on the way to the bathhouse,
Oh, no. No, I didn't want to leave anything in the tub.
Leave a Russian surprise there.
No Serbian attack.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
think
guys are.
I had a client one time that used to go out and harvest, and she owned a Russian spa basically, and they had to go out all year long, or maybe not all year long, but certain times of the year, and collect this like oak thistle that they used for these steam baths and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a big
Russian
thing,
oak
you know.
thistle.
For whacking each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were hitting each other with branches in the steam room.
Oh, you thought they were like olive branches or something.
I thought it was eucalyptus or something.
Russian
I don't
thistle.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I'm
guy, the kid
terribly
behind the
allergic
counter was
to
great.
Russian
He goes,
thistle.
"Don't worry, everything's normal in there, except you did come on Russian night, and it's hot." Okay, that's it. That's all the warning I need, I guess. Pretty good.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oak thistle.
It's something like that. Yeah, it is oak.
Steam bath.
Whack. And, it's always an interesting situation. Not all men are created equal, What?
That's true. So I've heard.
Yes,
Did
Tommy.
you tell Mark about the idea I had for the roof on the RV?
Yes, I did. I hadn't heard back from him on it. I assume he'll be exploring that option.
Good.
Duct tape?
Duct tape.
Just pull it into the
How long ago did
200
Wade
by
call?
100 barn with central heat,
No idea. Here we go. Stand by.
Find stuff and listen now.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So we have an update on a problem with Wade. Wade called in March, and he said in January 2021, he bought 4 new Bridgestone run-flat tires at Walmart. That was the one over at 440 Wadsworth. He said he got a flat in one, and because it can't be repaired, he needed to buy 4 new tires. They told him they would pay for them, but reneged on it. Now, first of all, with run flats, it is true. If you get a flat in the side, in certain areas, you can't repair them most of the time. And if you have to replace it, In some of these cars, you have to replace all 4 if the mileage differential is too much and the tread wear is too much. What happened in this case, Dimitri? They said they would buy him tires. I doubt that.
Yeah, you're pretty close, Tom. So unfortunately, the tires that he had were discontinued, so Walmart couldn't buy another one under the warranty that he had. So the proposal they made to him, and he ultimately accepted, is he buys a new set of tires, and then after the tires come in and get installed on his car, Walmart will credit his credit card for the amount of the purchase.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really nice offer. It's kind of, a little clumsy or cumbersome, I should say. But I guess, that's probably how their computer works. Somebody had to pay for the tires in order for them to special order the tires. So Wade did that. They installed the tires. And while he was there, the lady who was helping him actually processed the refund. So, wow. And he's got a screenshot or something like that. And everything was fine for a few days, but then suddenly the charge appeared back on Wade's credit card. And to his credit, he keeps daily track of his credit card account for, obviously for things like this. So then he called Walmart. They said, we'll process the refund again. They never did. So
where does this stand now?
Well, Wade made a claim, made a dispute on his credit card. And he got a provisional credit and a letter from I just got off the phone with Wade. So
Is he on right now with us, Sue?
No,
Okay.
He'll call us again on the 6th.
Okay.
And so he got a letter from the credit card company saying that the provisional credit will become a permanent credit once Walmart's 30-day window opportunity to respond to this dispute passes.
But what if they do respond and say he owes the money?
Well, it's unlikely they will, Tom, because the letter is dated the 6th. So April 6th is going to be Sunday. So they really have just 3 more days.
Okay.
And Wade checked his credit card a couple of minutes before I called him this morning, and he said the charge still hasn't reappeared. So we're both very hopeful that Walmart will just allow this deadline to pass. But he'll give us a call after the 6th to make sure it's still a 0.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Dimitri. Now let's talk to Steve. Steve, what's going on with you? Steve, welcome.
Well, Tom,
Yeah.
I just I wanted to get your opinion.
Okay.
Last year, based on a recommendation, I called Matt from Paragon.
Yes.
Because I was having problems getting State Farm, to pay a claim.
Okay.
And, Matt came out and we signed the agreement and all that he said, well, if I can't do anything for you, it won't cost you. And I said, okay. And went through State Farm and they came back again and said, no, we're not going to pay for it. So he recommended that I call and contact this attorney, which happens to be in Texas, but they are licensed here in Colorado.
Is that Daily Black?
And
Is that Daily Black?
no, it was, I've forgotten the name of it right now.
Okay,
I
what
didn't
happened
bring
then?
the papers with me.
What happened then?
Well, it took almost a year. And then about, 3-4 weeks ago, we finally get a resolution. They mediated a resolution, and it came out to be the same price as the original estimate, which was fine.
But wait a minute,
Then I
Steve.
get a
Wait.
settlement
But you
statement.
turned down the original estimate, and you went all through this trouble to end up with the original estimate?
Oh, no. I didn't turn it down. State Farm turned me down.
Oh.
They told me that the roof,
Oh.
it was either a manufacturer defect
Got
or normal
it.
wear and tear.
Okay. So recently you did win then. Was it arbitration?
Through mediation.
And how much did you get?
About $35,000, which was
Okay.
fine. Don't get me wrong here. That part was fine.
And how much did
Then
the
I got
attorney?
a
Hold
settlement
on. How much
statement.
did the attorney charge you?
There you go. That's what I'm about to get to. The attorney charged me 40%, which when I first spoke to them, their input was, well, we're going to do our best to get the insurance company to pay the attorney fees. But I did have to sign it saying 40%. So, okay, I understand that. And on top of that, they charged me the 10% that Paragon was going to charge.
So they charge
and
you
on
50,
top of that,
wait,
they charge me all the appraisal fee.
They charge you 50%?
50%.
Well, he would have got nothing if they didn't mediate, Tom. So
No, I
isn't
understand.
this good?
Here's my main question. Was it disclosed to you how much this was going to cost you? That's all that matters.
Part A was the 40% was disclosed, but according to Matt, when we spoke and I signed his agreement, if he didn't get anything accomplished, I wouldn't have to pay him.
But he did.
They in turn turned around and charged me the other 10% for Matt.
That's right. And Matt probably got paid that 10%. Because they handled they're looking at it. Listen, they looked at it as one big claim. And what I'd have to see is Matt's agreement with you to see what it says. Because
it's always 10%, Tom.
It might talk about that
It
10%.
says 10% on it.
I understand that. But does it say 10% if he hands it off to an attorney, or if you get an attorney, or if it goes to, I mean, all of that will be outlined in the contract. If not, then he wouldn't be due the money.
And I'll go back to the contract.
Or send it to us and I'll find out.
Yeah.
One thing I want to tell you, truly, Matt's a pretty honorable guy. I mean, we don't get complaints like this. It's a pain in the ass when you have to fight for a settlement. Now, usually, Steve, what really bothers me is this could have been a bad faith claim, and you could have gotten treble damages or at least attorney's fees. So I don't understand why it was handled this way when they could have gone for bad faith. Because in this state, it's easy to prove bad faith. I would ask them why they didn't do that. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
That's good stuff right there.
I'm going to step away, bro.
Bye-bye, Shannon.
Step away, bro. Get out.
I want to go get my...
Some more mac and cheese. See you at on Colfax.
But it's got me wondering.
I looked that place up.
Contrary to what he
I
said,
hope not on an open browser.
Oh, yeah.
The sidewalk at Coors Field.
but it was always stolen items out of
No, lockers or something.
Yeah. My Rolex was sitting on the floor and it got taken. There was another one on, I'm going to call it 28th and Zunai. Right on the corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just about a block north of Spear. Block and a half, maybe. Well, maybe more, because I think there's a Marriott Residence Inn between it and Spear.
Very odd that there's an off day between games during a series. Yeah. They played one yesterday and they have a day off today, so I texted yesterday and said, "Please straight man, if I'm missing something." Right, and he said, sometimes they add a day, especially in the Northeast. Philly? Rain and shit, yeah. For weather. Yep. He says, unfortunately, they added it mid-series. Right. He says, which messes us up, quick turnaround for the open. Right. But, yeah, so that's, I didn't know if it crossed your mind at all that there's no game.
Not so much, but, you know, it's like, with the wonkiness of their schedules to begin with, it's hard to...
By the way, I had one of your stinky foot cheese meal out here. It's just chicken. Oh, really? Yeah, garlic chicken.
I think it happened
That bad?
last Wednesday, so I blamed it on Mark because I was sitting there, you know, and I was listening to Mark.
Yeah.
Are you eating the factor meals?
Yeah.
When did you start them?
We've been doing them for a while. I
left you.
I had no idea.
Really?
We tried them for a week.
Yeah?
You like them?
They're a little
Tissues
underseasoned.
like you do.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's
Yeah,
most it's cheaper than going out to eat.
Wow.
Yeah,
Going
Mark
out to
thought
eat.
there's portions. It's kind of, Mark thought
I better go to urgent
Did it
care,
trash
you know, at Kaiser, see what's going on.
they were
It's slowed
overpriced.
down, but, you know,
Well, I mean,
And
we go there and,
8 meals for $100.
you know, he looks at it and he says, oh,
And-
huh. Well, it's not your eardrum, at least.
Well,
I don't want to
he
put
thought,
a stitch in there.
let me restate that.
want
He
you
thought
to
they
try
were
to put a
overpriced
stitch.
for the portion sizes.
Yeah.
That being
Stitch in
said,
there.
I like the convenience and the portion control because I'm kind of like you.
Yep.
Like, if nobody's finishing their plate, I will finish that plate for them.
You better believe it. I'm going to put super glue in it. It's basically,
Oh, you
put
want to
a glue
finish
in
that?
there.
All right.
But just like that one, I'm not going to heat up two.
Right.
It's just that. But you know what's going to tell you?
I didn't really
we have
tell
found
you.
the
Yeah,
best
I really
TV
tried.
dinners at a Lazy Dog restaurants.
Did I?
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard of Lazy Dog?
Every once in a while I have a-
Now,
Because
let me
my
tell
hearing
you,
aid
they're
is
not,
something. My ear oil.
they're
Oh.
healthy sizes and
I
super
scratch it
tasty.
with
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, they're frozen
That's what he
TV
thinks.
dinners. Yes.
Why did it wait till the
At Lazy Dog, we tried. Mark talked me into trying them.
Pouring out.
They're the best. Now they only have like 10 different ones to
I
choose
didn't
from.
pour out why I wasn't willing.
But if you're ever at Lazy Dog, I mean,
And
they're
you
so
guys very
good. I
late
can't
on
believe it. They're cheaper than that.
Out of your head.
It's like buy 5 get 1 free.
Interesting.
Ah, they're so good.
There is nothing healthy about those.
What did you say, you smartass?
I said
God.
there is nothing
Who's
healthy
calling?
about those.
Oh, it's Mark. Hey, babe. You're gonna drop it where?
Okay.
You didn't get my text about Mark
Yeah, I
Szymanski?
can't go number 2 anymore.
Enjoy, Chopper.
Oh, I mean,
I was
I don't
waiting
know,
for that.
Mark. I can't. How long do I have to think about that? How long is it going to be there? How's that? No, I mean, how long is it going to be there? Okay, you need to get your shots out of the fridge, and whatever else is in the fridge and the freezer. There's a few things in the freezer. And I'm just trying to think of anything I would need that I took out my Kindle this morning. The only thing I couldn't find this morning, so maybe you can look in that little box that holds our keys, are my AirPods. You know what they look like. That's the only thing. My frother. I need my frother. I need the frother. Yes. Frother, AirPods, and really, I haven't used anything. I'm trying to think of it. I took all my work stuff. So, yeah, I think we're good. Bye.
I need my frother and my RV.
Wow, I'm trying to think. He's like, hey, I'm just going to drop it for a month. Do you need anything out of it? It's like, oh, God. I can't think of what would be in it.
Drop the RV for a month?
Yeah, we have to get the roof sealed. It's leaking.
Oh, jeez.
We had water coming in, so that's why we had to park it back in the barn and live in it in the dark. Dry camping. I'm not going to complain because my life is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Roughing it
float
like
on
that,
turn
you
it
poor
upside down
thing.
and float.
Shannon
I bet you
says
had
my
to
life
take-
is above average.
And they sell it in big cans, too.
With your in-floor radiant heat and your hot running water and your,
Oh my God, you guys! Oh, jeez!
tough.
Wow,
You don't want to.
it's
You don't want your little
Suzanne
toes
Day,
to get cold
brought
walking
you,
on your
hosted by John Fuller.
tile. Heated tile floors. Yeah.
Heated
Tough.
tile floors. That heat is not working right now. We got to get that fixed.
Not for a lack of it being there, though.
Kelly is texting me. If you're going to take the day off, I love her, but take the day off.
Right?
Uh-oh, what did she say? Don't forget to lock office and drawer, please.
Never low, never sleeps. It's your company. It's your... That's not bad. I'm going
You tell her I'll lock it if I want to.
Right? It's my
John
office.
Fuller says, I'll lock it if I want to.
10 seconds, guys.
Shelves, and what can we do to help protect and defend their kids? Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Trouble Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, hi. Tom Martino here, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This hour brought to you by Dan McKenzie. We talk a lot on this show about estate planning. McKenzie Law can do that estate planning for you, whether it's a simple will or a trust, means to avoid probate to keep things private, or if you're facing probate. Whatever it is, estate related, Dan McKenzie can do it. Live and local, the McKenzie Law Firm, 833-CO-PLANS. 833-CO-PLANS. Hey, John, what's going on in your life? How can we help you, John?
Hi, Tom. I have a piece of property that I own the mineral rights. And a few years ago, they approached me about leasing those mineral rights. They were doing some directional drilling, so not drilling on my property.
Yes.
During the contract, they apparently started production and in 2022, and so I just got my first royalty check. So I've got some questions about that.
Okay, let me explain what's going on. Okay, hold on 1 second real quick.
Okay.
So you have the royalty rights, not a working interest, but the royalty rights on a certain tract of land.
Correct.
Okay, what's your question?
Okay, so I'm brand new at this. So the lease was through 2022, and they hit in 2022. And so they sent me an entire log of everything they've been doing, little bits and pieces here and there since then. And I finally got a check, and it seems, all legit and everything. Is there anything I should be worried about in this, or is this basically what I signed up for in the beginning?
One thing I'll tell you is when you do a lease, I have several thousand of them, okay? Unfortunately. I mean, I have several thousands of acres. They probably equate to about 100 different oil company royalty contracts. These contracts basically say that you have a royalty interest, so whatever they do, they keep track of, and they dole it out to all the royalty owners. The great part about royalties is they are strictly controlled by state and federal authorities, and if anything, they will never cheat you. These people do one thing. In fact, they all use the same portal. Did you go to that portal to get your money?
No, they sent me a paper check.
They sent you a paper check. What's the name of first of all, who's the working contractor? What's the driller's name?
Civitas.
Civitas, right?
Yep.
Okay. And they did not mention to you the platform to log into?
No, they did not. Nothing has been mentioned about digital anything.
And your contract, your lease goes from when to when?
The original went from, I believe, like 20 through 21, and then they have an extension 21 to 22.
Why is this such a short-term lease? I've never heard of them.
Yeah, that's what I tried to go back and I find the original contract, and of course I can't find it. All I can find is the extended contract. So it's like I could be fuzzy on those dates.
Yeah,
I know it's been a while. So
that's really kind of weird. So let's talk about it. So you have royalty rights. How much was the check for?
$24,000.
Okay, so my checks are anywhere from $500 to $3,400. What that tells me is that you are the only owner of that tract. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, those numbers make complete sense, because if there were 24 owners, each would get about $1,000. If there were 48, they'd each get about 500.
Good.
So usually my tracts, I don't own any of them alone. I own them with other royalty interests. So my checks, again, can be anywhere from 300 or 400 to 3,000 or 4,000, but never more. The reason yours is so much is you are the owner. That's really good. Now, did they say what period of time that covered?
The log they sent me shows everything from 2022 clear through 2024.
So that's for 2 years?
Is that unusual? Yeah. Is that, well, 22, 23, and 24. So it's 3 years.
Yeah.
Is that unusual?
Yeah. Now that doesn't sound as high to me. So that's 8,000. Well, no, that's pretty high. 8,000 a year. I think you're right in there. You know, they do have to supply audits to you. You know that, right? Did they give you audits of drilling activity?
Yeah, I have a stack of papers 1.5 inches high.
Okay. I'm going to assume they're doing everything right.
Every tiny little thing.
Now, when do you get your next check? In 3 years?
So that's exactly what I'm asking you. It's like,
well, the lease,
I don't know. I don't
spells
have the information
out
on that.
Bro, the lease spells out when you get your money. That's all in your lease.
Okay, so since I don't have the original contract, can I contact them and say,
yes,
hey, I don't have a copy of this anymore?
Yes, you can.
I can do that? Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
Now, this land...
is this something I should have an attorney on hand?
No, you don't need it for this. Just ask for the contract.
Really? Okay, good.
And then I can have one of our people look at it. But, John, I want to ask you something. Tell me about this land. How much land is it?
It's only 2 acres.
Okay, and wow. And you happen to...
Up on the edge of Broomfield, 2 acres, and they were drilling about a mile away, and they were doing directional under all these little parcels.
No, I get it. But you struck gold there. How much did you pay for that land?
About 17 years ago, about $280,000.
Wait a minute. You paid that much, that many? You paid $280,000 for 2.5 acres back how many years ago?
17, but I mean, it's got house and everything on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's worth about 1.1 now.
Okay, so do you live there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to explain a few things to you. The house and the house and the land are separate from the water and the minerals. So with every piece of land in Colorado, you have dirt, you have water, and you have minerals. So most people, the water is automatic. You get the water rights for that land automatically, unless otherwise stated. But with mineral rights, did you know, John, let's say that's going to produce for another 10 years. Do you know you can sell that for a lump sum of money to an investor, that lease?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I did have that question.
Good. So. You can do that. Another thing you can do is when you sell your house, retain those rights. You don't have to sell them with the house at all.
That was the question. Good.
In fact, if you sell your house and you let them have those mineral rights, you basically discounted your house about $10,000. And there's no reason to. So what I'm telling you is treat the minerals separately from the house, okay?
Okay.
That mineral lease is an asset. And you treat that asset accordingly. The older it is, the less it'll be worth. The more it produces, the longer the length, the more it's worth. And it also depends on what? The price of oil. At some
oil.
Each tract of land has a nutcracker. Okay? And that means that on one tract of land, you can't even begin to dig unless oil's $75 a barrel. On another tract of land, you can dig. You know, it depends on what your basis is, on what per barrel is your basis. So if that land has to have $45 a barrel to break even, then you're in the money. If that land needs $75 per barrel to break even, then they probably don't drill. There have been all kinds of levels with all kinds of anticipations of the minerals market where some people have gotten buried in leases where they're never going to get drilled because it's too much per barrel. At one time, we thought oil was going to $100 a barrel. Then people said it was going down to 30. One thing is for sure, that the price of oil will dictate what your lease is worth. So anyway, if you have any other questions, stick around. If not, 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
If you're looking for a firm to help you plan a retirement, or to look at your retirement plan to see if you have enough, to see if you have the elements for a successful plan, which would include insurance, income, a nest egg, and maybe an estate plan, whatever. And this place, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, is set up to help you review what you have and make recommendations to what you need, what you should have, where you're strong, where you're weak. They become like a coach for your retirement plan. If you're interested, call them and ask them what they can do for you specifically. They'll be very specific and talk to you without any obligation. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. rpcenter.com. Solar is a big deal. And the good news is, whether Republican or Democrat, everyone is in favor of solar. So that means our incentives will be around a while. That means you should get a company you know and trust to do your solar. If you're going to stay in that house, it's a no-brainer. If you have a commercial operation, did you know you can get like 100% of it paid for if you qualify for the REAP grant? What you need to do is contact our experts at Red Rocks Roof and Solar. They do sales, installation, and service. RedRocksRS.com. 303-704-2449. So Armando, what's that one about?
Dimitri update.
How long ago was it? Oh, so Armando's wouldn't be in this. Alice?
What's up, Chopper?
Armando.
How you doing over there?
This headset sounds like it's raining. That's why I keep looking outside.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? Get the other headset. I probably just need to order better headsets.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, Dollar was having trouble too? Did you?
No, I just asked him to get it.
Oh. Just leave the other ones aside. I'll wind them up. But you're sure about that? Are you sure it's not the connection? The
adapter?
The adapter might need to be screwed in a little better, or just make sure of that too.
It's not raining.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah.
Try another adapter just to make sure it's not the adapter. If you need one, I've got an extra.
Oh, okay.
You know, just like always try different stuff.
Try another adapter.
Yeah. Make sure it's the headphones before I buy more.
I wonder how much that camera is.
Still raining.
It would be really interesting to know.
What?
Wow, if he could find one for that amount, would he?
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
Looking outside.
That would be a miracle.
You know?
I can't go number 2 anymore.
Oh, he did.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Drew can't go number 2 anymore. Do colonoscopy prep. Then he can go. That's what Drew needs to do.
Drink that juice.
How did your thing go in your trip to the burger wagon afterwards?
Let me tell you, I'm 10 years clean. So I don't got to go back for 10 years. And that freaking burger was fantastic.
I was told I don't have to go
That
back
food
for
truck.
10 years.
Nice. That food truck is my new favorite restaurant, John. I swear to God, it's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Colonoscopy talk. I love it.
Well, now that I'm an old biddy.
You know, if you want, there's a website on the dark
Yeah.
web for underground colonoscopy video.
I'm sure you
That's-
don't even have to go to the dark web for
That's
that.
a very hard no.
John can confirm.
I am literally afraid of
Yep.
the dark
For our
web.
fun.
Literally afraid of it. Like I've never been there. I don't know what that looks
Never
like.
stumbled upon it?
No, we don't.
It's so I know I haven't. For real. Have you? Can you stumble upon the dark web?
I honestly, I don't know.
Oh, do you have to purposely go there? I don't know. Dragon?
I'm going to show
Like going into an old
we still
speakeasy
offline?
where you got to knock on the door 3
Yeah.
times, wait a second.
Put in a
yeah.
special code.
Yeah. 10 seconds, guys.
Yeah,
It's still raining. It must be me.
Local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So, a while ago, Alice called, and she said her son Armando took his 2012 GMC Arcadia to Accurate Auto in North Glen 2.5 years ago. Accurate installed a rebuilt engine 2.5 years ago. Now the rear main seal is leaking, and Accurate says, wait a minute, that's not part of the original installation, and it's not warranted. Then we had many little discussions afterwards. Is the rear main seal part of an engine rebuild or not? Deputy D talked to the shop, and the owner said this main seal is not integrated into the engine like others. He said it was not part of the original engine installation. What is new?
Well, Tom, so you may recall that last week Armando had his car towed over to Sheridan Auto Tech, and Kevin did a diagnostic service on it. And it had a few problems he uncovered, not just the rear main, but there's some kind of a seal blown out in the front of the engine. And Kevin also discovered a head gasket leak, which sounds like that would explain the stop leak that the original shop, that did the installation, that's Accurate Automotive, discovered. They said that they saw the stop leak in the radiator. But in any case, I've been dealing with Armando kind of behind the scenes and with Alex at Advanced Automotive. And Alex has been really great to deal with. He's the owner of that shop. He is really engaged in this process. He's very well informed. And he
Is
offered
it part of the original warranty or not?
Well, here's where I'm going with this. So Alex very helpfully told me that the engine was actually provided by LKQ. And within the next few hours, he's going to email me the proof of purchase and the warranty claim that Alex had today opened with LKQ on Armando's behalf. And the reason that I've been following on this is Sheridan Auto Tech offered to do the warranty work, provided it's one of the vendors for whom they do warranty. And LKQ is huge. So I assume that Sheridan Auto Tech will be able to do the warranty work. So Armando, if you're listening, are you on the line right now?
No, I don't think he is. Is he? Oh, yeah, he is. Armando?
Great. Can we bring him up?
Armando?
There he is.
Yes, this is me.
Hey, Armando. So listen, here's what just to kind of summarize. So Alex from Accurate Automotive is going to email me the proof of purchase for this engine, which apparently is still under the 3-year warranty, and a claim number that he just a few minutes ago opened with LKQ. And I'll forward that to you as soon as I get it. And the idea is for you, once you get those documents, get together with Kevin at Sheridan Auto Tech and see if he can provide you with a warranty work on this engine. I have a feeling he'll be able to because LKQ is just a huge dealer of these remanufactured engines. And I just pulled up their warranty on their reman engines, and it's a pretty good warranty. It's 3 years, unlimited mileage, and it says that the warranty can be done at any, and I'm quoting, licensed automotive repair facility. So if Sheridan Auto Tech works with LKLQ, they may be able to handle this warranty claim for you. So are you okay with getting together with them and starting the warranty claim process?
So yes, I've been in communication with Kevin and his team there at the automotive shop. I've been working with Isaiah. He's the one that's been the lead on my vehicle, and he said that he reached out to LKQ. Yep, he said that he reached out LKQ last Friday to see if they had any records on their books in regards to that purchase around that time, because Alex was not trying to release anything to me or Dimitri or anybody else in regards to where the engine was purchased. We didn't know if it was purchased from LKQ, Jasper, if it was from a junkyard, because we didn't receive any of that information. The only thing that he was giving us was that we were under warranty from his shop, which was the 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. But that's not what I was originally given whenever I purchased the vehicle engine for the replacement. They said that it was a remanufactured engine and that it would be 3-year unlimited.
Yep.
But I didn't know where that 3-year unlimited was coming from, if it was a business or...
Yeah, Alex has been very, very helpful today. He's been a great guy to work with today. And he's going to email me this afternoon the proof of purchase from LKQ and the warranty claim number so that you and Sheridan Auto Tech can follow up on this. So I'll email all that over to you as soon as I get it. So when you get off the phone, can you please make sure to text me your email address?
Good. Armando?
Yes, am I texting it to the current phone number? Or
No. Suzanne, would you help him we need to get his email.
That's it. Suzanne is going to get your email address.
Yeah, we'll get it
as soon as we're done with this phone call.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Armando, I think you're on the road to, I think you're on the good road here. You just need to make sure that you and Kevin or you and Isaiah are on the same page regarding who pays for what, because you are going to have some sort of a fee. The LKQ covers up to $50 per hour of labor. And I'm pretty sure nobody charges only $50. So you are going to have some component to pay for, and just make sure you and Isaiah know exactly who's going to pay for what and how much, so that neither one of you has an ugly surprise at the end of the repair. Does that make sense? Are you okay with that plan?
Correct. Yeah, most definitely.
Cool. Well, awesome. And I'll stay in touch with both you and Isaiah, and we'll keep following up on this matter until your car's back on the road.
By the way, Trump derangement syndrome has gotten into the marital arrangement. There are a number of divorces recently that have been attributed to political differences. Most states have no-fault divorces, but they still put down a reason. Listen to this. This is what one lady wrote. My husband was one of the nicest guys on the planet when I married him 25 years ago. I saw him get brainwashed with all of this MAGA BS through the years, and it's changed him for the worse. He makes the worst vile comments about people and won't listen to anything. It doesn't matter if you prove him something is disinformation. What's that?
Did Suzanne write that?
Yeah. He always has an excuse. Honestly, I've lost all respect for him. We've instilled a no politics rule, but he often breaks it, and we end up arguing. I'm wondering if it will silently sink in when inflation keeps rising, our taxes go up, and we lose our Social Security. One other person wrote, I got married to a Trump lover. Knew it at the time, but figured it would work out. It didn't. Her morals were the same as Trump's, and she lacked integrity. We're getting divorced. Listen to this one.
Wow.
My ex-boyfriend and I had a good relationship since September 2024. But then I was okay with the different political views and his reasons to vote for Trump. When he asked why I would never vote for Trump, I said, to start with, I am a woman. He then started to change and became distant. He tried to sell me some conspiracy theories And one day he said he wanted to start going to church. That was it for me. Anyway, I'm telling you, politics has gotten into everything. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino. Now, Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
All right, still in pretty good shape for the lunch hour on the highways. The one delay that we do have is going to be southbound on 225 near Colfax. There's construction on that stretch. It looks like we are backed up towards I-70. The northbound side looks better after some earlier problems there around 6th Avenue. 270 still running a little heavy if you're heading west up through Vasquez. Other than that, Pena wide open to and from the airport. Mountain roads look pretty good for the most part. We're not seeing any big delays from Georgetown to the tunnels and all the way out towards Vail. The road conditions have improved. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of the short but all-important ride of the famous Pony Express. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
All right. Last night, I went to the hockey game. Suze was there, huh? And who else was there? Mitch Floria, theartofgranite.com. Mitch is such a good guy. His lovely family, you know, it was there, his 2 kids, his wife. Now, here's what happened. He came from Romania with $300 in his pocket, literally, and started the Art of Granite from scratch. This guy does a great job. That's why he gives prices on the phone. He wants everyone to know the deals, and he's proud of them. No one else does it. No one. If you're looking for granite, quartz, quartzite, marble, any natural stone or man-made material, go to theartofgranite.com and get your price right now. 303-386-5919. 386-5919. Speaking of great companies with great heritage, Gravina's has the greatest windows. In fact, they have the greatest heritage. And no one beats Gravina's, nobody. Now, this company was started in the 60s, and I know Larry Gravina worked with his dad in the 70s. In the 80s, he went off on his own. His son Nick has joined him. This is the original Gravina family, 950 West Evans. 50 lines of windows, several lines of doors, and siding. So you never are forced into one choice. 303 Gravina. 303 Gravina or gravinas.com.
Or do you want to talk to Tom? I have Dan McKenzie. Referralist.com, Dan McKenzie. You got a pen? Alrighty, I'm pulling that up for you here. That is, sure, it's an 833 number, but it's 833 CO plans, but I'm going to digit it out for you. 833, he's local, by the way. 833-267-5267. That I don't, he's been practicing a long time. I don't know how many years, sir. I'm sorry.
McKenzie, about, I think, 12.
Yeah, that I don't even know who that is.
Who?
But I can put you on with Tom, who probably does know who that is if you want to powwow with him. Okay. Is that good with you, Ray? Hang on. Listen to the phone. When you hear your name, come on and talk to Tom on the show. Hey, Tom?
Yes.
This gentleman on line 1, he says, I need a probate attorney.
Okay.
So I started to give him Dan McKenzie. He's like, well, how long has he been practicing? I'm like, I have no idea. He goes, well, I need someone like so-and-so. I said, I have no idea who that even is, so I'm just going to have you talk to Tom.
All right.
So it's some sort of probate issue. I will let you dissect that. Yeah, Mitch's family was cute, huh?
Yeah.
The boys and his wife, so sweet. Uh-oh.
I hate that sound.
What sound?
Like the mosquitoes in your ear.
Do you have a mosquito in your house?
No, I thought he was playing a sound.
What? This is my sound.
He is.
You're a liar.
I've been doing this one all day long. That's my thing. It's April 1st.
John Fuller loves it.
He better.
I do. Love.
Suze is extra vibrant today. Case, that's because I did 2 yoga classes today.
2?
2 before 8 a.m.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah. I left my house at 5 a.m., did a 6 o'clock sculpt, 7 o'clock HPF, that's hot power fusion. So it started out right. Plus, I'm back in my house, Case, after last night. Finally back in our home.
Awesome.
No, Tim, the grills are all gone. Thank the good Lord. Well, there was one that was forgotten or miscommunicated about, but Mark and I can carry that one down.
Well, it's April Fool's on Tom Martino.
Look at the chat. See this.
We are pretty much decluttered, Tim. Finally our house.
K-How.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller's with us, by the way. When he's not here, if you need help with any personal injury claim or information, it's 303-597-4500. 597-4500. Hey, Ray, what's on your mind today, Ray?
Actually, it's RZ. Ray is my cousin.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a probate. My first name is Arzie, Mr. Martin.
Arzie.
R-Z-A-R-Z-I-E. My last name is Hammock, H-A-M-M-O-C-K. I'm trying to find a good probate attorney because I'm going through some changes with an estate that I'm supposed to be the
personal representative.
Personal representative. I spent more than $80,000 in stuff, and I'm getting to running around.
Okay, Arzie, let me ask you a few questions. The estate that you're
brother.
The estate where you're a personal representative, is that located in Colorado?
It sure is, right here in Denver.
Okay. Now, was this a relative?
She's my oldest sister, as well. The other end is my mom. Both of them passed away here.
But you're the personal representative?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you said you spent $80,000, what did you spend that on?
I've spent it on attorney fees. I've actually spent more than that.
But why have you
And
spent?
haven't
I don't
gotten
get
anything
how much.
out of
How
it
much is the
whatsoever.
estate? How much is the estate worth?
I don't know.
Approximately, you must know something. Did she have cash? Was it he or she? Did they have cash, real estate, cars? You must know what it was worth if you take all the assets and subtract all the loans. What would it amount to? All the debt.
The sister is property and money. My mom is property and money.
But they're two separate estates, right?
I'm sorry?
Two separate estates, one for your mother and one for your sister?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I want to know is, why did you spend so much in attorney's fees?
Well, I've been getting to run around to get something done and taken care of.
Yeah, but tell me what you spent the money
about
on.
as much as
When
I
you
can
when you
tell you.
if $80,000 is way too much to spend on this. What was it for?
We don't know. We don't know.
Are these estates worth 5, 10 million?
5, 4.
They're both worth about 4 million combined.
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of the estate attorney you dealt with?
And I'm looking for an honest attorney.
I got 2 honest attorneys. I got more than 2. But listen, here's where you want to go. Keel and Park.
Okay.
Keel and Park. That's who you want.
What is it now?
Keel.
Keel and Park.
Yeah, just like the keel of a boat, put an E on the end. And Park, just like a city park.
Keel. Keel.
That's right. K as in kill.
Okay.
That's Keel and Park. Here's their phone number. 970.
Okay.
818.
Okay.
8198.
Okay.
They'll do all your consultation free and then
you
come up
had
with a price.
someone else?
I think you need, first of all, I think
Okay.
you way overpaid legal fees right now, way overpaid. Somebody is robbing that estate blind. And that's
Yes.
that's what I hate about.
That's what I understand.
Well, this attorney, how'd you come to hire the attorney that charged you $80,000? How'd that happen?
Well, Walter Garage used to be my mother's attorney.
Okay.
And Mr. the Garage is deceased.
Okay.
My wife worked for a firm, and when this got to going and stuff, all kind of stuff started to go on, and there was stealing involved, and wanting to put somebody else.
Well, hold on.
in
What, you still haven't
the
answered me.
estate.
You haven't answered me, man. What law firm was it?
Tell me what it is, babe.
What law firm?
Williams, Weiss, Pepple, and Ferguson.
Okay.
William Weiss, Pepple, and Ferguson.
Well, you need to get this estate reviewed. And I think your idea was good to go to an honest attorney. Keel and Park are who you want.
Okay.
Okay? And really, they're going to be good. You're going to love it. Call them and tell them the problem, that you have 2 estates you're trying to settle.
Okay.
And you have no idea where you are. You see, this is the problem with estate planning. These lawyers see that people are inheriting an estate, and they think, how much can we get first? That's how most of them work. How much can we get for ourselves?
Okay.
Not how much can we keep the cost down. So, RZ, trust me when I tell you, Keel and Park, they're a cut above. They're totally different. You'll love them. 303-713-TALK, 713.
I appreciate it.
No problem, man. 303-713-8255. CMG Financial, if you're looking for a reverse loan, that's right. They're doing financials, and they're doing they're doing reverse loans, and they do them quickly and efficiently. Talk to John at CMG. John Clace, 303-882-6679.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
No major complaints through the downtown area on I-25 north and southbound. We're seeing intended speeds through town. Some road work through Commerce City. I-270 westbound cruise just after Vasquez with some slow traffic throughout. Further east, some stop-and-go traffic on I-225 southbound approaching Colfax. We're seeing backups from I-70. Looks like a previous accident has some cars on the right shoulder. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
We're back in the Miller's Yard, who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a fairway and pro golfers started showing up. They love playing this lawn. Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Vestera Turnkey and I, this Saturday, will have a seminar on becoming a landlord without the conventional risks and hassles. First of all, Vestera Turnkey put together a program where they guide you through buying a home, a rental, having it managed, and selling it, all to get 30 to 80% returns a year based on their stats. Now, Vestera Turnkey is the brainchild of Barry Miller, who is the father of the buyer broker. He fathered that entire industry. He's going to be there and I'll be there. And I'll be talking about how you can do it through your retirement plan. Vestera Turnkey. To find out more, come to the seminar, 10 o'clock this Saturday. Here's where you go to sign up. MyBiggestReturn.com. We'll answer every single question. MyBiggestReturn.com. You know, I can't say enough about Frank Duran, the real estate man. He is truly a great person, and he gives you a lot of knowledge when it comes to real estate. If you simply want to know what will my house sell for, he'll do the calculations based on his 30 years of experience and also all of the aspects of the market, supply and demand, competition, your neighborhood, interest rates, and then he'll come up with a price. And it's all free of charge. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Find out what your house will sell for, what you'll net. 303-920-1622. Did Gary answer you?
Yep. And I was wrong. 2,000.
Okay.
It's not bad.
No.
But he'll bring it over for us to set up
1 5
and see what the difference is. And
6
he'll
9 3
offer a
7
consultation,
2
provide a
7
consultation
1
for
5
light equipment, light
7 3
temperature, light intensity, where to place the lights.
Try 1
This
5
guy,
7
he's
3
got a lifetime of
This is
do you know what he used to do? He was
15730.
in his teenage years. He was in the Coast Guard.
Hi, honey, bring it over to me.
Hey.
Go back.
Oh,
okay?
thank you. That's so nice of you. Very thoughtful and a very pretty dog.
6 0
Thank you, honey.
Where's the cat?
She's
sleeping. Yeah, it's the.
So she's still in her fall sleep.
Oh, that's so cute.
I think she kind of goes based on when I sleep.
Yes. Cats do.
Hyper and
Yep.
So that like she's all exhausted during the daytime.
Yeah. That's cats.
That's where I've seen her.
This is killing
Very
me.
cool.
Listen to that and see what you think.
Thank you.
It's only
You have a
right
great day
here.
there.
It's like
He was a
listening
dive
to
medic
white
stationed on
noise
Kodiak Island.
to go to sleep. Now to be in your left ear.
Probably the most dangerous job in America.
There's nothing on right now.
Go out
No,
in a
it's
helicopter,
the noise, like
walk
rain.
around Kodiak
Yeah.
Island,
You hear it?
jump into
Yeah.
the water, and then swim to wherever
Yeah.
their patient
It's like
is.
white. It's like you're trying to go to
Boat,
sleep with that.
in the water.
You ever
in
play that
the
white noise or anything to go to
No,
sleep?
my son does.
Like somebody has a heart
Yeah.
attack on a fishing
Green
boat,
noise, white
he would
noise.
jump
Yeah.
off a helicopter to get them.
He's amazing.
I think it's in there. I don't think it's there.
Dude knows what he's doing.
How'd you
That
know?
jack.
At a party,
Well, both of them were.
between
I mean, you get the
2000
noise
and
of both of them.
2001,
Yeah.
and he was there with one of the girls a girl that I was dating, and he was among, he was friends with her, so that's how I
Is
was.
Gary married?
Yeah, he's got kids.
If I plugged into that jack
Does he still look wild?
and hit this,
haven't
I
seen
wouldn't
him
hear
in
right.
like
But
5
No.
years.
yeah,
But he looked almost normal last time I saw him.
That
He's
one you
got
have to do
video
a
production
splitter on.
company He owns.
Oh, right.
did they hear the?
Yeah. And like with real customers, like
Oh, no.
big corporations.
Oh, no. He is so good.
So I think he looks like
What a talent.
looks normal now. Yeah, and just a genuinely nice guy. So I said, hey, he's like, when do you guys want me over here? I said, hey, we've got some scheduling challenges we're working through, without telling him, of course, what's going on. And I said, but you're at the top of my
Here,
list.
let me look right now. Should I look right now?
If you're at the top, I'd like to.
Yep. Let me just get this code. I gotta cancel. They keep setting me up for appointments.
10 seconds, guys.
It's great advice.
Ryan Schuling.
Ryan has strong opinions, and I like that.
Dan Kaplis.
And Kaplis, he keeps fighting the good fight.
On Denver's talk station.
The station I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. I cannot say enough about probate. It is one of the topics that makes my blood boil. Public trustees, they're called, or public administrators, should be called rapers and pillagers. They go into an estate and they do not, in my opinion, exercise a fiduciary responsibility. A fiduciary responsibility is a high standard. It says that you will execute the duties for the best interest of your client. What they do is they come into an estate and start charging outrageous fees, commissions, all kinds of stuff. They use subcontractors they know. And by the time they're done, there's very little to distribute. Don't ever get into a fight or an argument with your family to where the judge appoints a public trustee or public administrator. We've had cases where brothers and sisters couldn't get along, and as a result, a public trustee came in. Now, the brothers and sisters who didn't get along would have gotten about 80 grand each. About 80 grand each. But they couldn't agree to it. They got a public administrator involved, thinking it would be some just arbitration. The public administrator takes over. You have no control over the estate any longer. And instead of getting 80,000, they got 50. So the question is, where did 30, 60, 90, $120,000 go? To the administrator. What did they do for it? Very little. It is one of the areas of law where there is total abuse and chaos. Total abuse and chaos. So instead of telling you how to deal with them, I tell you, don't deal with them, ever. Don't ever deal with them. You will lose every single time. John Fuller, our personal injury expert and co-host from time to time, I have a text here. I got to find it. They want to know that, have you ever, even though you don't handle property damage, do people ever have enough money left over to fix their car or buy another one?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, listen, the standard is not that you're able to go out and buy your next vehicle. The standard is, were you compensated with the fair market value of the one that you had? And so nobody goes out and tries to find the late model vehicle with the same number of miles as the one that got totaled. They want the newer model, the one with less miles, the couple years younger, that kind of stuff. Right. And no, they're never going to put enough money in your pocket to do that transaction.
Okay. That's good to know. So really, that says it all. So when you have, though, an accident, this is another one. You say MedPay is no fault. How do they even get access to their MedPay? This person doesn't even know what to do. How do you get access to it? That's a good question.
Okay, so when you've had an accident, in addition to setting up a claim with the at-fault party, assuming you weren't at fault, the next call that you make is to your own insurance company, and you tell them you were in an accident, and you have the medical payments coverage, and you need to open a claim and get a MedPay claim number. And then you will use that claim number with any of your medical providers, just as if it were an insurance policy that they can bill directly to and get paid.
And then that is not subrogated at the end. It doesn't come out of the settlement.
Nope, not at all. They have no right of subrogation, and the at-fault party has no right to offset for what MedPay might have paid any more than they would have to offset for what your own private health insurance might pay.
Hold on a second. Let's say an MRI is indicated, and MedPay pays $1,400. Are you telling me that the other insurance company can also pay for that?
They're not also paying for it. Let's look at it like this, Tom. Let's say that you get in an accident, you're damaged, and the other guy is at fault. He's responsible for all of your damages. Part of your damages are medical treatment, including an MRI. Now, if we know that that party's responsibility includes all of your medical damages, why would they be any less responsible if you happen to have really good insurance that enabled you to get the MRI for less money, or if you had bought and paid for the medical payments coverage that allowed your own company to pay for that MRI? You wouldn't, because to do so would be to disincentivize your, responsible act of getting good insurance for yourself.
Wow.
So as a practical matter, we don't give the at-fault party any credit for those coverages and stuff that you have on your own that you bought and paid for.
All right, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We learn a lot on this show. Give us a call with any problems, questions, and complaints. Call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, or 303-713-TALK.
One hour to go, huh?
Yep.
I gotta go. I was wrong on that. Oh, where'd she go?
What?
She's gone, huh?
What?
We just went to the restroom.
What?
Yeah, even when Mark's here, we have more calls.
I know.
Yo.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Alan, hi. In a sentence or less, what would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
In a sentence or less.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're skinny, they get fat, and they get skinny at the end again, yeah.
Okay, let's talk to Tom about it. Hang tight, listen to the phone, okay? Perfect.
I assumed it was just tapered on the end, so I don't know if it gives you more meat or not, but it definitely, if you hit the ball earlier in the pitch and you're further out, it could definitely change the angle as to which way the ball flies.
Next time it comes, you can see where they bulge.
But is it actually a bulge, or is it just is it just tapered more at the end?
It doesn't look like a major bowl. They said the Yanks hit 9 home runs.
Yeah, I can see the taper at the end, but I don't know if it's actually fatter than yeah. Oh, see, that's just stupid. Okay, that's not.
Hey, Dragon, how's your kiddo?
He's good. They offered him 6.5 for the car.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think it was only valued at just under 6 or so. So.
Excellent.
Making out a little ahead-ish, but he still owes like 10.
Oh.
Yep. So, but he's gonna buy his friend's car for like 3. So, still kind of making out. I don't know. Yeah, he said
well,
he
at
was
least he
super
wasn't
cool.
hurt.
Gave him a book and everything.
Yeah, how about that?
What's up? Are you waiting on me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chop. What's up?
Jeez. The name of the guy is Rob.
For?
Genesis.
Rob, thank you.
And
it's on my STD list. Shit to do. Okay.
Okay. Now we know what it means.
Yeah, shit to do.
Suzanne's all business today. In a sentence or less, what do you want?
Them getting pissed off and doing something. And he's got a little, he said, all he wants is to know that he never called me the first day, never called him the second day, saying that they weren't coming. He never called the third day. And Diane called him and sounded like he was dead asleep. I didn't hear it.
Okay.
So I don't want to.
But it's Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
And,
But they're using.
and
Yeah, I
Victoria's
can't go
saying
number
how
2
slow they-
anymore.
Yeah, he needs to know that. Yeah,
I just
know.
realized
I
who
know
that was that you
This
keep
isn't
playing the
about
recording of
Victoria. It's
over and
like,
over.
okay, so we just need him to know because, he's one of our people.
Yeah. And I know you're wondering, this is moles.
Nah.
It looks like someone. Yesterday, I looked like one of those Hollywood type that would take their.
What's that dude's name that's having the number 2 issue?
Drew.
Drew, that's right.
Yep.
That's a bad problem. Can Dimitri hear those sounds?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, I can hear it.
With your superior listening skills,
It does.
Come to Florida, I'll show you the real thing, You call those no-see-ums and they'll eat your ass alive.
What are they called?
No-see-ums?
Oh.
You can't see them. They're little, almost invisible suckers that bite the crap out of you.
She just
Cool.
used the term while I was in there, STD.
Yeah.
Shit to do.
I've heard it say that.
Yeah. I didn't ever thought about that. I have to use that in the future.
Well, if you give me, let's say, 3 available dates, I'll run them. I'll run all of them by you.
Yeah, Tim, just replace the batteries in all your smoke detectors and CO2s.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm thinking of going over to Lazy Days.
You do need to replace those batteries every year. Some people even say 6 months.
Okay.
You know, KFC has.
I'll text them right
Have
now.
you ever had their pot pie?
No.
It's really good.
Yeah, I would think theirs would be pretty good.
Better than
10
any
seconds,
frozen
guys.
one that you could get.
George Brockler think of the gun grab bill currently sitting on Governor Polis's desk? I pity the fool that don't tune in at 2 on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off
Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints. All you have to do is give us a call at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Alan, he joins us to talk about insurance and branded titles, whatever's on your mind, everyday aches and pains, the things that make us tick, the things that tick us off. Alan, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Good, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
What's happening?
I bought a car, and it had a branded title, and I'm trying to figure out how much insurance I need.
Okay.
And so I thought maybe you guys might have some ideas.
So you bought it knowing it was a branded title?
Correct.
When did you buy it?
A few days ago.
And what kind of car is it?
It's an Aston Martin Vantage.
Yeah, Aston Martin Vantage. What year?
It's an '08.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. So was it a total wreck that was rebuilt from salvage?
Well, my understanding it had slight flood damage, but the insurance company totaled it. But it's a beautiful car. It's in great shape, runs great. I mean, I can't tell anything is wrong with it. But there
are many times.
Title,
listen,
so I'm just curious.
There are many times. There are many times when people have a slightly flooded car, or hail damage, or other damages like odors and stuff, where they total a car, but it's not a wreck. You know, we always think of total cars as wrecks. But once they're bought by the insurance company, they must be branded as salvage. The problem you're going to have with insurance coverage is not how much to get, but how much they'll pay you in the event of an accident. Normally, if you have a salvage title, you're going to get a fraction of the cost for everything covered. So you shouldn't pay, how much did you pay for this car?
Oh, you won't believe it. I got it for $10,000.
Around 10 grand?
Yeah. And it's an Aston Martin Vantage.
What year? What year is it?
Convertible. It's an '08.
How many miles on it?
32,000.
You know what? You got yourself a hell of a deal. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I said too. I couldn't afford to pass it up. Yeah.
You know, let's get our insurance guy on. You hang on. I'm going to bring Brian Burns up to talk about this.
Sure.
It's a good topic, and he's a broker, so he'll tell you straight up what you do with that, okay? So hang on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller is with us, our personal injury expert for the day, and our co-host from time to time. So we are getting occasional texts back about that topic. We also are getting a lot of texts on the woman who could hear a noise and only Dimitri could hear it and no other people. Hearing noises are not necessarily covered by warranties, this one text says. Who the hell did that?
That was Christy. That was from her original call. And by the way, Tom, I'm discovering that no Honda dealership, GM, will return my call on this matter. So I have a feeling they know about this, and they just don't want to open a whole can of worms.
You think so?
Well, why else would they pass up the opportunity to play a hero and advise us on the technical aspects of this topic? Why would they pass up on that?
I don't know. I think that, well, it could be they don't know how to address it or they don't know what to do about it. I mean, it's just that because not everyone hears it. I happen to feel that there's not anything they're at fault at. I mean, what is at fault of emanating a noise? When does it become a fault in the car? John, what would you say?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to even, how do you even prove it? What do you got to do? Get a meter in there to prove that it's not something that's completely subjective?
Exactly. Or something somebody's feeling. Here's the deal. We've had really strange cases where things only showed up for one person. No one else could hear it or feel it. Has anyone ever heard of the Santa Fe? By the way, Suze, are you getting Brian Burns on for Alan?
I have a message into him, waiting to hear from him.
Okay. Has anyone ever heard of the Santa Fe?
It's actually the Santa Fe Thump Chopper has.
It's in Taos, New Mexico.
Is it the hum?
There's a hum, and people.
It's a thump.
And people can hear. Some people can hear it while they're flying in an airliner at FL32 over.
It's a mysterious, persistent, low-frequency humming, rumbling, or droning noise that residents of Taos, New Mexico claim to hear, while others completely are unaware of it. Did you hear it when you went?
No, I didn't hear it, thankfully, but people in airplanes report hearing it from FL32.
The Taos hum is a low-frequency sound, often described as a faint, droning noise. People have had to move away, while other people buy their homes for a song and don't hear anything. Some people say it might be inner ear function, psychological, local industrial noise, or elevated electromagnetic field levels. But how does that reconcile to the fact that not everyone hears it?
Well, we're all wired a little differently, and I mean, it's analogous.
But are we really?
Yeah, well, look, I can hear the whining sound from that Honda, but most people can't.
That's very interesting.
And I'm not imagining it because
Tom
Kevin from Sharon Autotech heard it once.
What were you saying? Somebody just talked?
I think it was John that.
No, that was me, Tom.
Chopper, go ahead.
They also thought that Santa Fe noise might be related to the Navy and submarine communications on a very low frequency.
Really? Well, why can only some people hear it?
I think, like Dimitri says, some people only hear certain things.
That's right. So here's the point. If you have a situation like that with a car, the question is, when does it become bothersome and a warranty issue? That's something that's never addressed. There are countless examples, I'm searching right now, of cars with noises. That's one thing I can't tolerate. If there's a little squeak or a hum or something or a little rattle in a car, it just drives me crazy. By the way, the quietest car I've ever owned is this BMW X7. The quietest I've ever owned, more so than a Mercedes or anything else. I'm not saying it's the best car. I'm just saying it's the quietest car. You know what the noisiest car was? The G-Wagon, Mercedes G-Wagon, as much as they're touted. Anyway, we're waiting to hear from Brian Burns, Alan, so hang on, and we'll see what he says about insuring branded titles. Because nowadays, a lot of people are voluntarily going for branded titles because they feel they can save some money. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Addiction, trauma, depression, and anxiety can make you feel like you're alone. We promise you are not. The Raleigh House is here for you. The team at the Raleigh House provides treatment unlike any other. They understand what you've been through, and they can help you get where you need to go. The Raleigh House provides a place where you can heal from addiction or trauma, find your purpose, and start rewriting your life story. The Raleigh House can help. Visit theraleighouse.com to get the help you need. That's the RALEIGH house.com.
You know, I always say that there are two attorneys I don't hope you never need, and one is John Fuller, who's with us today. He's a personal injury attorney. Hope you never need him. And then there's Joe Lazzara, criminal defense attorney. Hope you never need him. Lazzara, 2 Z's, Lazzara. What he will do is talk to you if you're ever in trouble, free of charge, and come up with a flat rate plan to defend you, depending on what the offense is. Listen, I don't like to make light of criminal stuff and being accused and being falsely accused or making stupid mistakes, but that's what Lazzara is set up to do. Joseph A. Lazzara. Call for flat rate pricing on an offense after free initial consultations, 303-429-6200. TheArtOfGranite.com. Mitch Floria is the heart and soul of that company, and I love the way he does business. He will give you a price on the phone. Why? I'll tell you why. Because tear out and haul away is always free. Wholesale on all countertop materials, so he needs some square footage. And then he also has free incentives like backsplashes, edge treatments, sinks, and more. So why don't you call and get your price? And then you save yourself a trip, and you'll find out he has the best deal. 303-386-5919. 386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
Dragon.
Suze?
You are a little instigator.
Hey, you should never let the class clown run the board on your field day, man. This is... Yeah.
You really should never encourage it by bitching about it either, you know? What is that freaking noise? God dang it.
No idea.
Don't hear anything. Nothing on this end. Yeah, quiet. Crickets. Kind of really. Oh, swat it.
Troubleshooter Show. What's your first
Got
name?
it.
Hey, Bo, what's going on, man? You got an update? Awesome. Hang on, man. Okay. Park it right or something like that?
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
Is it park it right?
I wonder if other people feel it. Have you ever been in your car
Okay.
and you have the heater
Parking.
on?
What's the caller's name?
And you turn from a
Let me look.
a 90-degree turn onto a block.
That's all right.
And you get more heat.
I've never noticed anything like that.
The fan doesn't increase. Nothing. It's just like you've gone into
okay.
a temperature
Hang on a minute.
envelope of where the heat.
Oh,
like the heat
Cameron,
was
you
here
said.
As you were going
Moved here
straight,
from
and
Texas
then you
recently. Out of the Army. He moved into
And I feel that
Spyglass
all the
Creek,
time.
Denver apartments, signed a lease,
Yeah,
did not have a parking sticker, got towed. Okay.
I thought it was booted. But,
Cameron.
I wish I could have seen
It was a lot of fun.
those photos they were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we didn't get
About
home
this
until
parking.
8.
It made it sound like this guy was... There were signs there or something.
Why not? Get the hell out of here. Good for you, Bo. Okay.
Bo went out there and cops never showed. Which I could have told him.
Holy cow. That's so cool. All right, man. You enjoy that. All right. Let me know if it turns
Bo
into a
took off the
dating
boot and
sitch.
put it on the manager's car.
Ah, going a double date or something. All right, hang on. Let's do an update. Now, Brian Burns hasn't texted me back, Tom. I don't know how long you want me to give him.
I know.
I can give him a few more minutes. I don't know if he's back from out of town. Like, I don't know what Brian's world looks like right now. He could be sitting on the beach with a Mai Tai.
$10 guys.
TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHAL, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Now, remember this case we talked about with Cameron. Cameron moved here from Texas, an Army veteran, and he signed a lease with Spyglass Creek Apartments. And a day or two after signing that lease, his cars were towed from their parking space. No, they weren't towed. I'm sorry. They were booted because they said he did not have parking passes. He had requested parking passes, but they had not gotten them to him. He has proof he was a resident for sure, the cars were parked there legally. He was a resident, but just because he didn't have that sticker, they booted it. Now, once they realized the mistake, you think they would just unboot it. Why not? However, we were having trouble getting the Spyglass apartment management to see it our way. In fact, Exodus Grixby, believe it or not, that's the guy's name, Exodus Grixby, the assistant community manager, indicated that they were probably going to keep the money, or not keep the money, but not refund or credit that. See, it doesn't cost them a dime. They go put a boot on there, and if it's a mistake, they can just take it right off. But Exodus Grixby said he wouldn't do it. And when we called Spyglass Apartments, they said it was up to him. And then we called the tow company or the boot company, and they said they had to get word from management. We were being jerked back and forth. Bo got really upset, Deputy Bo, about this and wanted to go out and investigate. Bo, what did you find?
So, Tom, this Exodus Grisby, he's an evil manager. He had full authority to remove those boots as stated by the boot company. He would not do it. He was very unreasonable. He did not give Cameron or his girlfriend these parking passes or parking stickers the day they moved in. So I just wanted to wait and talk to him, and he called the Denver police on me for trespassing. And I actually helped them give the description of me so the police could come find me. There's no way they could give me a trespassing ticket because I was there as a guest of Cameron Dean. So with all of this back and forth, Cameron went back to his apartment, and I was waiting for the police. And I did a little investigation. There's absolutely no signage in the parking lot that says they can boot. So I was there till 3:30. Police did not show up. Well, they showed up on another matter, and that was a different thing. There was actually a fire at the apartment. That was taken care of. But when I went back, Cameron's girlfriend paid the fee. Doc generously offered to pay for one of the boot fees, but Cameron's girlfriend was just so sick and tired of all the back and forth commotion with Exodus Grisby, and they needed to find work. They just moved here from Texas. They had job interviews, so she paid, I think it was a $380 fee to remove the boot. But what was strange about it, I said, well, how could the boot be removed? Because I was sitting at the entrance of the Spyglass Apartments, and I didn't see the Metro Parking boot company come in and remove the boot.
They don't have
you
to.
know something?
They don't have to.
No, someone from the management, someone
Right.
from a maintenance man from the apartment building removed the boot. They didn't even call anybody, and they could have very easily taken this illegal boot off. I was so mad about it, I wanted to cut the boot off because I just thought it was totally illegal. And that next day I called the PUC, and I was able to file a formal complaint against Spyglass Apartments in this booting, and they are in the process of conducting an investigation.
Let me just tell you something. This Exodus Grigsby is a piece of crap. You hear me, Exodus Grigsby? You're a piece of crap. You're an evil person, and you just want to cause pain and misery. You have a little authority, so you get the big time boner here, and all you want to do is make trouble for people. 303-753-9080 is Grigsby's number. He's a scumbag. That he lives to inflict misery on people. That's my opinion of this guy. Here is a veteran who came here to live. He had a signed lease. All you had to do, Grigsby, is go in and see that he had a signed lease, number one. Number two, see that he requested parking passes. Number three, unlock the damn boot since you are the guys in charge of it. But that's Exodus Grigsby, Spyglass Apartments, 7100 East Mississippi, Denver. Here's their number, 303-753-9080. Do we have a corporate office for these idiots you were going to call, Bo? I thought, or somebody was going to call the corporate office.
Yeah, that was me, Tom.
Yeah, did you want to just let them know what they're doing locally and how stupid it is?
Yes.
Over
Hey,
what,
Tom?
a couple $100? What?
Tom, someone suggested they should file a complaint with the PUC if they did anything wrong.
Bo did that.
They'll get his boot fees back.
Bo did it.
Okay.
So, Tom,
And I have an update on the PUC.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this. Normally, these media relations people are always standoffish, but when I made the follow-up call to find out how the investigation was going, she said, I am really glad for the Tom Martino show. You guys do a lot of good for people with these towing and booting issues.
Good.
So that made me
Excellent.
feel good.
That's really good. So what were you saying, Bo? I mean, what were you saying, D?
When Bo started working this case, I helped him out a little bit last week. And I did track down the owner of that apartment complex. It's a Florida company, a really big property ownership company called Pride Rock Capital Partners.
Pride Rock Capital Partners, okay.
Yeah, and they're, according to their website, they have a map, and it looks like they're in between 10 and 15 states. So I called them, I believe at least twice. There's no answer, but I left a voicemail and asked them to give us a call back to kind of discuss this issue, to see if they have any insight.
Did you mention a veteran and all of that?
I didn't mention the veteran part, but I did mention that we're working on a story about, what to me appears to be a suspicious predatory booting practice, in my opinion.
There's no warning signs, right, Bo?
No, and it's a scam. This manager scamming these tenants that most of them are low income, and they don't have the money or the wherewithal to do that. I mean, it's just illegal.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I want to say.
scammy.
Here's what I want to say real quick, guys. Hold on. She can go to small claims court and get that money back because it's going to be hard for him to prove there's signs when there's no signs. Plus the PUC. Do both. But I suggest she go to small claims court. What did you want to add, Dimitri?
Pride Rock Capital Partners never returned my call. They seem to have no comment on this matter.
Pride Rock Capital Partners. I mean, look at the name. They're not.
I called too.
I guess they're not very proud.
I want to leave a message for him live on the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to.
That'd be
We'll get that
great.
number. We'll do that after the break.
Okay, I'll look up the number.
Pride Rock Capital Partners owns the project, and they did not return calls. Okay.
I called too, and the PUC is going to call me hopefully tomorrow with Cameron's permission to give me an update of the investigation. So they are actively investigating it, which is good.
Thank you. We got partial victory here. In that we got the PUC interested. We're going to follow this through. Yep, they suck. We got more coming up.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Download the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Redpilled America.
Some good news on the north end of town. I-25 southbound approaching Thornton Parkway. We had a nasty accident blocking almost every lane of traffic. It does look like things are all cleared up. You're still going to see some stop and go back from 120th, adding about 5 minutes to your commute. Otherwise, pretty calm drive throughout the metro area. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. South of there, some congestion. I-225 southbound around Colfax. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
Once upon a time, I was in an exclusive cult run by powerful elites. That cult was Hollywood. I escaped and created Redpilled America, a storytelling show that tells the stories Tinseltown ignores. Listen to Redpilled America on the iHeartRadio app.
FixMyHome.com. Go to that website and get the Extreme Clean for $39. It's the only place you'll find it. Fix it 24/7. Now combined with 888 Heating, they are together a force helping you with Fix It 24/7 service. And they mean 24/7. They also mean fixing it. They don't always try to replace, but if you do need replacements, they guarantee for the same equipment the very best prices. You can't do better than Fix It. Get that $39 Extreme Clean on your air conditioner before the heating system hits, okay? Please do that because you will not find a better service. Fix it 24/7, 720-526-3939, fixmyhome.com. If you're looking to conserve energy, yeah, you can do furnace and air and all that, but what about a solar system? Did you know when you put in a solar system and then do a bunch of other stuff for your heating and air and your insulating and all of that can be one big giant tax credit of 30%. Find out more with redrocksrs.com, Red Rocks Roof and Solar. The people who do solar right, from selling it to installing it to servicing it. They even service other systems they haven't installed. That's how great they are in the business. 303-704-2449. Isn't it time you take control of your power? 303-704-2449. So you know about this mysterious house, huh?
Oh, yeah. I looked into it many years ago. I was very interested in it back then. I had more.
I am. How are you doing?
And I was going to go and listen for it.
Good to talk to you. Are you down in the Bahamas or something? Or are you back? Okay. With your family or just your kid or what?
People sense it. Flying in an airliner at 32,000 feet over Taos.
Nice. Where'd you guys go? Oh, cool. Nassau. Not Nassau. Nassau.
Yeah, what a weird name.
I know.
Oh, and we have an appointment with a Honda dealership. So.
Oh, wait a minute. When are we going to do it with Gary?
On the 8th?
You got to put it on here.
Nice. I'm glad you guys had a good time. Cool. Welcome back to the cold. That's all I got to say. Hey, this guy got some sort of screaming deal on a 2008 Aston Martin with 10,000 miles on it or 30,000, something like that. It's a branded title. So the conversation's just about insuring it and what that looks like.
What time? 2 o'clock?
Appreciate your time. Hang on.
Got it down.
Cool.
Wait, 4. It's not 4. It's 2 to 4. Damn it. What the fuck? Hold on. Where is that? 2 to 4. If that, but 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put 4. I'll put 3. It won't take more than an hour. Okay. So it's down.
No.
Oh. That was like the number of likes.
I was going to say.
I looked at the wrong.
Hey, Tommy,
Yeah?
I have Brian Burns on for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ten seconds here, guys.
REGENREV.com.
Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Call Fuller.com. Hi, Tom Martino here. We have Brian Burns with us for this question I want to ask. Brian is with Compass Insurance Group, home of the free insurance checkups to make sure you're not over or underinsured or paying too much. 303-996-9000. Brian, Alan bought a branded title, meaning the car had some minor flood damage and they totaled it out. So it's a branded title. Mm-hmm. He bought it for a really good deal, no matter what. It's a 2008 Aston Martin, and he has a really good deal on it. And he bought it for $10,000. He wants to know about insuring it. What will happen in a collision coverage, or how do you, let's just ask this, how do you insure those kinds of cars?
Well, so a lot of branded or salvage titles, I don't know if this is salvaged or not.
That's what it is.
If it is a salvage title, because sometimes branded in Colorado means like it has hail damage, but in other words, it's still drivable. It's not a safety issue.
Well, let's ask
salvage
him.
A lot
let's
of times
ask him.
could be,
Alan, does it
yeah.
actually say salvage?
It says salvage.
Yeah,
but it's operable. It runs
No,
great.
I get it. Let's
Yeah,
talk
but-
about insuring it.
Yeah, so it's going to be difficult to get, well, you're not going to get any kind of physical damage insurance on it unless you have it rebuilt, a rebuilt title, which means that you have undergone all the, you go through the DMV, you provide the documentation of any kind of repairs that you've done to it, and then they can rebuild they'll give you a rebuilt title at that point, and then you can put physical damage coverage on the vehicle.
But other than that, he won't ever get
comprehensive.
He won't ever get comprehensive or anything like that.
No comprehensive or collision. It's going to be a liability only.
What if somebody steals the car? He doesn't get any of it.
No coverage. Right.
Just liability
only.
only.
The point is, if it's a salvage, it's already been paid out. It's been totaled. So the value of the car has been paid out already.
I get it. So do you get that, Alan? You're not going to be able to insure it. You're not going to be able to insure it for yourself. At least you can get liability and drive.
So here's a question for Brian. It's not going to be a daily driver, right? It's just going to be one of those cars that we drive on the weekends and maybe date night, that kind of thing. What about a specialty carrier like Haggerty?
Yeah. I mean, that would be an option if it wasn't a salvage title. They still look at the title work. So if it's a salvage title, they're not going to cover that. They're not going to cover it for physical damage. Again, the whole meaning behind that is that the insurance company paid out the full value of the car. It's already been paid out, and someone bought it back from the insurance company for salvage. And meaning they just said, hey, you know what, it's all paid out. This is what you can buy it back from us for. But at that point, it's not insurable from a physical damage standpoint.
So listen,
All right, Tom, do you know anything about rebuilding a title or rebuilt title? Is that difficult to do?
Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't mean you have to rebuild it. It just means it now needs to be inspected by the state police.
Exactly.
So you apply for it through the state police, and then they inspect it, and then issue a brand new VIN number.
Oh, okay.
But listen, I want to talk practicality.
And it comes in as a rebuilt title. Yeah.
I want to talk practicality to you. This car, you paid $10,000. That's your basis. Insurance is going to cost on that about $1,500 to $1,800. So you are paying 25% almost of the value of that car to insure it. Why not just just not have it insured? What is the most going to happen if you lose the whole thing? It's $10,000. I mean, I know it's worth more to you in your heart, but you only paid $10,000 for it, no matter how you look at it. And what I'm saying to you is, just drive it. I mean, you're already in it cheap. If you have to put a couple grand for a wreck into it, you do it yourself directly. You'll get a deal with a body shop anyway, and you're not dealing with insurance. Why would you want to go through the headache of a rebuilt title with a brand new VIN number and then fighting with insurance on how much you're going to get if you are wrecked? Because if you're thinking you're going to get what it was worth, you're not. Even with a rebuilt title, Brian, it's not going to get. It's not going to bring.
Unless you have documentation of the repairs bringing the value back up. In other words, you've done all the work necessary to make it a vehicle that now has an insurable value. But
Brian,
to do that, you're spending all that money rebuilding it.
And Brian, I've known people who did the iCar standards for splits and cars and clips and all of that they do. They built it with the top integrity and skill. They got a rebranded, they got a rebuilt certificate with a new VIN number, and they still could never get the insurance value of a comparable car without that. Never.
Yeah, and it's to your point. You're going to always be in a battle situation, showing documentation of what you spend here to be able to get the value that you think you should deserve out of it.
And if you don't even drive it that much, you even say
an avenue.
He even said he doesn't drive it that much. All the more reason, don't insure it. As long as you have liability, you're covered if you hurt someone. But if you get wrecked, hey man, that's the brakes. That's the smart money.
It makes sense.
It does make sense because of your basis being so low. You're arguing for something. If you're thinking, oh, this thing's worth 50, 60 grand, you're never going to see that. Never. Once branded, always branded. Even when it's rebuilt. Yeah, okay. So anyway, thanks for calling. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Brian, again, we appreciate that very much. This always comes up when it comes to the value of what you're insuring. Just because you spent a certain amount on something doesn't mean you can insure it for that. And that goes for projects, hot rods, antique stuff, boats, whatever. You can't necessarily insure it for what you have in it. There are stated value policies. And I don't know if Brian is still there, is he?
He is.
Brian, explain what a stated value policy is and when you cannot use it and when you can use it.
And it's not the phrase you want to use for what you're talking about.
What's
stated
the phrase?
Value is not what you want.
What do you want?
Agreed value is what you want.
Okay.
So stated value is stating a value for what you say your car is worth or whatever it is that you're stating, and the insurance policy will only pay that value or actual cash value, whichever is less. That's what stated value is. Agreed value is whenever you come and you have the value agreed upon with the insurance company and they agree to pay that value in the case of a loss. And that's what you see with classic vehicles like you were referring to, but they'll usually require documentation in order to come to that agreement. If it's above what they see as the value, then you have to have an appraisal done, and then you come to that value together.
Okay, so agreed value versus stated value.
Yep.
Okay, and what you want is stated value. Agreed value. Agreed.
No, you want. There you go. Yep.
Because if you do a stated value,
limits
you can say it's worth $50,000. They'll say, okay, fine, but they're only going to pay you ACV.
Exactly. So you're paying for and the only reason you ever use stated value, and you have to sometimes, is for let's say like an RV, because they don't have the technology where you put a VIN in and it comes up with the value for the rating. It's for a rating purpose. It says, okay, your purchase price on this was what? It was $100,000. Okay, well, the $100,000 goes in the stated value, but at the time of loss, it's not an agreed value policy. It's actual cash value, but they're rating it off the value of $100,000 because that's what you paid for it.
I got it. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Redpilled America.
Some good news on the north end of town. I-25 southbound approaching Thornton Parkway. We had a nasty accident blocking almost every lane of traffic. It does look like things are all cleared up. You're still going to see some stop and go back from 120th, adding about 5 minutes to your commute. Otherwise, pretty calm drive throughout the metro area. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. South of there, some congestion. I-225 southbound around Colfax. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
Once upon a time, I was in an exclusive cult run by powerful elites. That cult was Hollywood. I escaped and created Redpilled America, a storytelling show that tells the stories Tinseltown ignores. Listen to Redpilled America on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, listen, you have so many questions. I know I get the texts about Vestera Turnkey and how you can become a landlord, having them take care of all the major hassles and lowering the risks to near nothing, to where you can make 30 to 80% returns being a landlord. And these houses are all over the country in hot markets researched by Vestera Turnkey. Now ask each and every question you want, including of me. I'll be there this Saturday, the 5th, at the DTC area at 10 in the morning. Go here to register, mybiggestrureturn.com. And I'll be talking about how you can use your retirement money for this investment. Go find out more at mybiggestrureturn.com. Another investment people consider, believe it or not, when you're first starting out, overfunding life insurance. It's a great product. You buy life insurance for your kids, let's say, or a young adult, and then you put extra money away on top of the cost of insurance. That extra money grows tax deferred. It can be tax-free if you listen to what they say. You can borrow from that through your life, pay yourself interest instead of the bank. That's why it's called becomethebanker.org. In retirement, you can start taking policy loans as income without taxes. Becomethebanker.org, 303-779-6600. Now, don't tell me the show's over.
Not yet.
No, because
Almost.
he did that in every break this week because I did some bad shit.
Oh.
Every day this week it's Tuesday.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, apparently.
It has been
Let
a
me
long
tell
week.
you. Yeah, it feels like it's, Monday again. Oh. Hey, Tom, let's see. Who is Discount Bath is our guest tomorrow. You want me to tell him to go to your house?
Yeah.
Okay. And then remember Thursday, Mark and I have to take Nico to Fort Collins.
Got it.
Now, any sort of emergency or whatever, I can take Nico alone, but we plan on going together.
Getting your house ready to sell? Rely on the experience of Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. Does your home need repairs prior to selling? I have the experience and great local connections to help you determine which items are cost effective. We will detail which simple, easy steps you can make to enhance your home.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
Yes.
Good old Drew.
Hey, Tom, you there?
Yeah.
You said you had some articles or something that you like to save on just different consumer topics. You were
Right.
gonna send me a Dropbox or something on that?
sounds very important.
Okay, the ones relating to your topic or fillers in general. I have great consumer fillers.
That's okay. Now, no pressure.
Yeah, just fillers in
Good.
general. I'm going to
Okay.
be hosting the show.
I'll
here
just share the whole
couple
folder
weeks or
with.
so.
I'll share the folder with you.
All right.
Good.
Cool.
Oh,
Thanks.
Chris. Okay. How old is she? Damn. Okay. You want me to just wait a few days and shoot you some new dates? Don't apologize. I'll tell Tom. He'll be praying for you guys. You take good care. Bye. Wow.
What's going on, Suze?
I'll text you.
Okay.
Didn't hear you.
I got a big
Just check your text.
All right.
10 seconds, guys.
Does Rhino Watch call Jimmy Sengenberger? And what does George Brockler think of the gun grab bill currently sitting on Governor Polis's desk? I pity the fool that don't tune in at 2 on 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. We were talking about branded titles and how you're never going to get the same value from a branded title car than you will from one that did not have a brand or did not get totaled by insurance. Jay, you have something to talk about with that in regard to branded titles.
Hey, Tom. A VIN number is like your car's DNA. Never changes, no matter what. The status of the title can change, but you'll never get a different VIN number.
Well, Jay, I personally was with a guy who did a clip, and he got a brand new VIN number. I don't now. This, mind you, this was 10 years ago.
Boy.
No, he was literally
that's so
issued a
weird.
brand new VIN number.
The reason they don't ever do that, and they're not really supposed to, is because that title gets followed through that vehicle's life. Very often what people will do is they'll take something like that and they'll figure out some way to get around it, which they're not supposed to do because it has a terrible history, but you are not supposed to ever get a new VIN number. That is the DNA of that car. It's where it's been. It's law enforcement. It's insurance. It's ownership. It's everything to that car.
Well, I truly mean this. We did a story one time on
He might have done it.
We did a story one time on Channel 4 about clips, people who put salvage cars together, front half, back half, and how most of them were not using what's called iCar standards. And we made the argument that there are a lot of cars out there that are running around very dangerous. They get into an accident, they'll fly into pieces. They won't crumble like they're meant to crumble with the unibody. this was a whole story we did. Well, during that process, we accompanied a guy who rebuilt a car by iCar standards, had it inspected by state police, and was issued a new VIN number.
That probably wouldn't happen today because they're much more careful with stuff like that nowadays. Back in the day, I could call DMV with somebody's license plate number and get their home address. But that stuff's kind of gone. Those days are mostly gone.
Listen, here's what they said. If the VIN number is legible and intact, they will not reissue. This keeps the vehicle the original VIN. It's marked rebuilt or reconstructed after passing inspection. If the VIN is altered, missing, destroyed, or there are two VIN numbers, they will issue a new one. So you see, I was dealing with clips, which would have been two VIN numbers.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's a whole different thing. Plus you have to be certified with a lot of things nowadays, where I had a friend, he worked at a Toyota shop, so he'd buy Toyotas and do that. He did a really nice job. He was very honest.
Well, you know, some of these rebuilt cars are just like new.
Yeah, there are times when they're as good as any ever, and sometimes even better, because like the way he did it was perfection.
Well, we gotta go. Thank you very much, guys. 303 Martino for help, information, referrals. Save all your problems for me.
All right, you guys are clear. Get out of here.
I'll see
Follow
you guys.
Tom Martino at